So an important question I've always asked, and I think that this is like, in my opinion, I feel like this is important as far as building, what's the word? Building like intimate relationships with people, whether it's platonic, whether it's relationship, romantic sense and everything like that. I think this is an important question to ask. And I feel like this is, necessary for every young man, woman, or human being to answer. And is flats or wings? You know what I'm saying? When I'm saying like, do you eat the drum or do you eat the flat when we talk about wings and stuff like that? So like, I think that's super important. Personally, I can't do no flats. I don't know who in the hell prefers flats over anything else. Brother Tyler, what about you? What are we picking over here?
Wings? What you talking about? Like flats?
But like there's a difference because there's the flat, which is like a bird chest, kind of like what I got, you know what I'm saying? And then there's the leg, you know what I'm saying? It looks like a drumstick. Like it looks like it's got a calf muscle, you know what I'm saying? Like
nah, wings, man. You bugging if you picking flats over wings. I mean, do what you do.
They're both part of the wing, technically, but which one is okay?
Listen, chicken wings, bro. Come on, bro. Wingstop? Come on, bro. Can't beat it. Wings, bro.
But what I'm saying is like, do you get the flat or the drum? Like you can't get the flat, bro. Like the flat, there's like, you gotta know the Da Vinci Code to get into some flats, bro. Like I don't understand. I've noticed in every relationship I've ever been in, platonically, and even like I'll talk about genetically, that everybody that I have met that prefers flats over drums, they have some type of a demonic spirit on them. I don't know what it is. Like I saw a meme one time, and I said this to my older sister, and she knows what I'm talking about if she's watching this. And it was like, people that prefer flats really got a smart ass mouth. And I was just like, I was like, wait, that's my mom. That's my biological mom that likes flats. And I really sat there and thought about it. I was like, I don't get along with nobody that eats flats. Like there's something like really wrong with you if you eat like flat, if you like prefer the flats, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I agree. I don't understand. Yeah, it's just it's like it's the people that like it's the people that prefer toaster strudels over Pop-Tarts. Like you don't really love yourself, in my opinion. I said it. If you prefer toaster strudels over Pop-Tarts, I don't think you love yourself personally. I don't know what it is. Because like you can eat. What's your argument?
No, I'm not. I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying if you choose Like toaster strudels are good. Don't get me wrong. Toaster strudels are good, especially the frosting they put on top. But come on, Pop-Tarts. You got cinnamon Pop-Tarts, which is my favorite. You know what I mean? I love me some cinnamon. You got blueberry Pop-Tarts. You telling me you're gonna choose a toaster strudel over some blueberry and cinnamon Pop-Tarts? Nah, you bugging.
It's just those type of people make me nervous, right? Because like I need the security. See, I feel like a Pop-Tart's gonna love me no matter what. Like if I'm late, it's gonna love me and reward me because you don't have to cook it and still be good. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like I like my breakfast kind of like my relationship, low maintenance. It don't need to be heated up all the time. It need to be, I can just unwrap it and just, you know what I'm saying? Like it's super regular. It could be like Times New Roman font 12, you know what I'm saying? All that, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no reason to have an italicized breakfast, but that's just me.
I'll say this though. If strawberry Pop-Tarts are your favorite Pop-Tarts, you basic. I'm just gonna say that because that's like the most basic.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like I do not like strawberry Pop-Tarts. I'm like, what's wrong with you? Like blueberry Pop-Tarts.
You're the type of person that doesn't even cuddle with your clothes that come out of the dryer. Like you just are the most regular type of person. Like you've never felt the love of God in your life, and you don't know what it's like to really be embraced by anything. And then you out here, what do you say? Apple toaster strudels is better? Oh, you're bugging. Brother James. Pop-Tarts is dry. Nah, bro. Have you ever had a s'mores Pop-Tart? Bro, let me tell you something. I'll take a s'mores Pop-Tart over. I'll take a s'mores Pop-Tart over every white girl in my state. I said what I said. I'm there with it. Do you understand me? I'm not putting myself through that. Y'all got me chopped. Welcome, everybody, to the Kid Casper Podcast. I'm your gracious, beautiful, blessed, beloved, and black host, the kid they call Casper. The KID in Kid Casper stands for King of Development. I'm that menace with the melanin. Reject me as I am, as long as he is still relevant. So, it's been a pretty interesting couple of I would say like weeks since I've gotten back, taking my little like hiatus and everything like that. Taking off my time. We've been getting some really like deep conversations. It's been not only been like deep conversations, but it has opened the doors to much more deeper conversations, and everything like that. From when we're talking about like the deconstruction series I'm working on, where I'm, pretty much pruning my faith in a sense. And I'm like, taking things off my faith that don't need to be there, teaching people how to, recover from certain traumatic experiences in which that you may face inside of the sanctuary, which you end up having it turn into an asylum to you. I've loved like the reception I've been getting. It's been able to, and just like I would say like the direction, even though I feel like I'm like, as I've shared with you guys, I'm slowly coming out of my funk in a sense, that a lot of people are getting liberation, peace, in some ways healing and everything like that, from the conversation, this content. I consider myself an artist in everything I do, whether it's conversations, whether it's subject matter, whether it's picking the gems in which I look to pick. But it's been pretty good. So yeah, welcome to the Kid Casper Podcast. If this is your first time tuning in today, hello, I'm the kid that they call Casper. I'm a Christian raptivist. Yes, rapper/activist. I love Jesus, but I am far from a pacifist. You heard me. I own a clothing apparel at ghostthreads.com. Let's see, taco enthusiast. I'm wearing a fedora today. I was kind of feeling myself, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if I can like kind of like check, like, can I kind of like flex a little bit? Like I wore my yellow kicks. Like when I wore my yellow kicks, do y'all understand? Like when I wear yellow kicks, it's like I don't really care what you got to say to me. Like I'm ready to mean mug a nun in the face. You know what I'm saying? I'm just kind of there with it. I'm just kind of I don't know why I feel like I'm in a good mood. I did not sleep well last night. I've been watching these two dogs that are just not mine. You know what I'm saying? We had a family emergency come up essentially, and hey, I'm watching dogs. One of them is banished to the shadow realm. If y'all ever played Yu-Gi-Oh in your life, and your parents weren't really too religious, and some of y'all were going to hell on a scholarship. One of the dogs are in the shadow realm. In other words, the spare bedroom down here, because they decided, you know what? I'm going to eat Casper's candy while he's detoxing. So let's just hope that the power of prayer works and the pooch doesn't die, because then we're going to have to find out if dogs do really indeed go to heaven after not repenting for their sins. But that's completely besides the point. I have a guest today on the Kid Casper podcast. It's not really more so a guest. The Kid Casper podcast is kind of turned into, though it is a space in which I curated, I steward, and I use it to minister, counsel, and convey and capitulate with people. This is pretty much his home in a sense. This is my good brother from California. I'm not going to crack on the fact that, that's where herpes was invented. Oops, I did it anyway. But, good brother, Christian rapper, business partner, overall, and I feel kind of bad because I just realized as I'm looking at my phone that he actually called me earlier. Whoops. But brother in arms. You know what I'm saying? He's a brother from a different colored mother. You know what I'm saying? Good news, Tyler, out of California. How you doing today, dog? What's going on with you, King?
What's up, everybody? Doing pretty good today, man. Hey, real quick, you looking fly today, brother. Just want to say that, man.
That's literally all I'm taking, really, because I kind of had like a mini photo shoot earlier before it started raining. It got kind of nuts. I took pictures on like a picnic table. I took pictures on the picnic table. It started raining, so now my hair's not really as kept as I would like it to be. But you know what? I'll take it. I'll takes it. You hear me? I'll takes what I get.
Progress.
But yeah. Let's see. Yeah. It's and you we never did talk about this. I think we did briefly. Your hair. Why did you dye your hair? If you don't mind me asking, you might as well somebody. I know I ain't the only one that had some questions. I know because and I told you not to make cosmetic changes without consulting me, black man. I mean, you didn't shave your beard, thank God, because the last time you shaved your beard, you were a mixture between a light-skinned kneecap and a chicken cutlet. But you got blonde hair now. So if you can kind of explain to Black America, why in the hell did you decide to dye your hair? Not that it looks bad. I'm just curious, what's going on? What's going on with you?
I mean, I've had blonde hair on and off. Whenever I do dye my hair, I always dye it blonde. And, being bored with my hair, I'm just like, what can I do? You know what I'm saying? And then I was like, let me just dye my hair. At first, I was going to dye it purple because I did have my hair dyed purple before, and purple's my favorite color. But then I was like, nah, let me just go ahead and go with the blonde. So I did that. And then I was like, you know what? Let me try to do the little mohawk thing. And I don't know. I think it looks pretty good.
Okay, and you just one thing I guess that kind of threw me off was once again, you didn't consult with the rest of the Black community before you made this decision. And I don't know, bro. I feel like we're gonna have to charge you. I mean, I heard the penalty is death, apparently, and you pretty much have to choose between unfrosted strawberry Pop-Tarts or every white girl in Wisconsin has to be your best friend for the rest of your life. I don't know. I think it's fair. I mean, personally, I don't know. I personally think it's fair. I heard that their personality is as dry as air fryer rice with no water in it, but that's completely besides the point. Oh my goodness. But you know what? I love it though, because honestly, I do love it because I didn't tell you I was dressing up today, King. You kind of just did what you wanted to do today. And, it kind of goes in part of what we're talking about today. And that's about, blackness, you know what I'm saying? In which we talk about, we're kind of you know, it's a hot word. It's a hot word because it seems like there's been like an uptick as far as trying to, how do I describe it? Like, it's been an uptick trying to, like, you know, trying to survive in this world, trying to live in this world, trying to carry yourself as an adult, you know what I'm saying, as a king, queen, royalty, you know what I'm saying, for our non-binary folk. And it's a hot button because it feels like in a lot of ways that there's one way to do it, but there's at the same time there's no way to do it. So it's like, I tell people, at least for me, blackness in itself is like a fingerprint compiled of different grooves that involve lifestyle. It could be your spirituality, meaning, like, you know, not saying like there's like well, I mean, there is, but, you know, there's things that like bleed into that. It affects like how you associate with yourself, with your friends, how you carry yourself, capitulate yourself amongst brethren and everything like that. But blackness to me is a fingerprint, meaning, you know, it don't look like anybody else's. So if I were to ask you today, brother, what is blackness to you? And if you can give your own, then your definition don't gotta be my definition. But what does blackness mean to you? And if you can kind of, like, you know, the best way you can describe it for yourself, it doesn't even have to make sense for me, but try to make it as clear as possible, like what it means to you, if that makes sense.
For sure. So blackness to me, and I'm kind of new to my blackness, as a lot of people know, but to me, blackness is a lifestyle. You know, blackness is an identity. Blackness is who you are. It's a culture. You know, we come from a very rich, you know, kingship kind of culture, and we come from royalty. You know what I mean? If you look back on Africa, you know, way before slave masters came and got Africans, we were kings and queens. You know, we were chilling in Africa, we were ruling, we were hunting, we were doing all that. And blackness, I think, in America is really because I just watched that movie Summer of Soul. I don't know if you saw that yet, brother, but if you haven't seen that, be sure to watch it. Anybody out there, if you ain't seen Summer of Soul on Hulu, watch that joint, because that joint had me hyped. You know what I mean? Just to see the beauty of black people, the beauty of men and women, black people coming together, and not just black people, also white people, you know what I mean, coming together to celebrate blackness, to celebrate, you know, this culture of black music, you know, black art, you know, black food, all this stuff. And it was beautiful. You know, I saw a lot and I learned a lot from that particular movie, and I was like, yo, this movie is dope. Definitely one of my favorites. So, but yeah, blackness is it's also an attitude. You know, like we as black people have a certain attitude about us. We have a certain charisma, a certain swagger, you know, a certain way that we carry ourselves as black people, and it's different from everyone else. So to me, like, blackness is big, it's loud, it's in your face. You know, it's not this quiet little timid thing. No, it's we're powerful people. So to me, blackness, being black, is just knowing who you are as a person. So for me, right, and I dress this way on purpose, right? I'm wearing the choke, you know, spike chain. I'm wearing all this stuff, right? I'm wearing a Pink Floyd t-shirt. Now, people may look at me with the mohawk, you know, they may look at my style and how I'm dressed right now and say, you don't look black, you look like you're trying to be white, right? Because the rocker image is associated with white, right? But if a lot of people don't know, like, the first rock stars were black. Like rock and roll came from black culture, you know, and it's like, for rock and roll in of itself to be so associated with whiteness, I think that's something that's been colonized and kind of taken from us, taken from the black culture. And it's like, when you think about rock and roll, automatically people see a white person or a white band. But no, it started with black people. Like, we started this thing. You know, the first ever rock and roll record was this record called Rocket 88 by this guy named Jackie Brenston and Ike Turner. They had the first rock and roll song. So it's like, you know, for me, dressing like kind of like in the rock style, that's a part of black culture as well. You know, it was taken from us and it was stripped from us. But, you know, rock and roll, that culture comes from Black culture as well. So for me, it's the more I you know, realize my Blackness and the more I identify in my Blackness, the more I really find out about myself and the more I find my voice and I find my power as a person, you know, to use my voice to speak up for certain things. You know, even you and me, Casper, we're Christians, you know, we're Christian men. And a lot of people associate Christianity with white people, with the white man. But it's like, no, Christianity came from African culture, you know? So it's like the first churches were from Ethiopia. So it's like even Christianity in itself is a Black thing. So yeah, man, I think it's really, we have to like really strip away the whiteness that's been placed over us. We need to strip away the white supremacy, you know, the white pride, all this stuff. And we need to like take what's been taken from us and we need to take that back and say, this is ours. We're going to redeem this back. So yeah, man, I think all in that in a nutshell is just about being proud of who you are as a Black person.
Gotcha. So for I couldn't really find a definition that's gonna kind of get into this conversation we have at hand. The title of this episode is Disclaimer, or just better yet, you don't own the rights to this Blackness. And one of the definitions, if we had to pick a definition to what Blackness is, because there's a lot of this is like, you know, I would say like opinionated. It's like dealer's choice, I would say. But one of the things I got was Blackness, the term given to experience and expression of the socio-political identity that Black people the world over hold. It is the most popular use amongst the African American community. It can, and when we're talking about, oh, what's up, Aunt Tamisha from Joyzy? What's up? And you know what? Since we kind of already like chilling in here and everything like that, why don't everybody let me know where we're watching this from? Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe if you aren't subscribed already. I'm trying to think. Did I send the links everywhere? If you're not in, I want everybody to share this. If you don't got it on Facebook, we gonna blow this up on Facebook. I would love for everybody to kind of be a part of this conversation because I'm gonna set some people free tonight. In a lot of ways, we're just gonna kind of say that. Well, I'll say this when because I said this last night. I said this last night on on Jess's podcast. I was working behind the scenes, so I was like in the comment section. So let me hey, how you doing? So on the title of this episode, it's titled Disclaimer, you don't own the rights to this Blackness. So with that being said, and I mean this with all due respect, and if that's not good enough, then I do mean this with all due disrespect. I don't want any white opinions on this matter. This is a conversation in which you are more than likely to stay and listen in on, but you at the kids' table, like you invited to this messaging to listen in if you want to learn something, you know what I'm saying? But we ain't gonna take no chime-ins. So I got moderators in the comment section. If somebody get crazy, it's okay to, and when I say chime-ins, like it's okay to be like, this is good, I like this conversation. But if you try to weigh in on Black issues and Black expression and stuff like that, and you yourself, you know, ain't in that, then don't be in that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just gonna start it off like that because I don't want anybody getting crazy. The comments are disabled, and if you want to, you know, debate with me about like everything that is said tonight, depending on whether I say what my brother says, and if other people want to join in on this conversation, the link is pinged up in the bio, pinged up in the comment section, so they can partake in this on the Facebook, the Twitch, and the YouTube page. But yeah, we gonna get comfortable. We gonna have a good time. Hopefully, like I said, this is gonna be liberating for some people. Hopefully, provoke people, maybe even convict some people. I don't know. I'm not so much that they'll be convicted in a Blackness, but it's just that we just hope to set some people free. When it comes to this conversation. So yeah. So for me, much like my brother Tyler, I am not so much that I'm new to my blackness, but I'm new to it as far as like embracing it. I think like in a lot of ways, growing up, my blackness looked exactly like it was supposed to look like. Meaning, like my blackness in itself, or who I was as a youth, in a sense, you know, the pure version of me, the untapped, uncolonized version of my blackness. And I'm coming for this real fast. The uncolonized version of my blackness has always been like, you're seeing like a more mature, permeated version of it today. I'm really no different. I've had he said mohawks earlier, bro. I've had a mohawk since 2008. I'm not kidding. It's 2021. I unapologetically wear a mohawk on my head because, I mean, it's my hair. And I have 3 F's that I live by. If you ain't doing any of those 3 F's for me, you don't really get to tell me what to do. If you're not feeding me, funding me, or fondling me, yeah, I said it for the PG folks, because you know there's some kids that listen to this, but you're only gonna fondle me as if you married, if we's married. So until we even on that level, we're not really gonna get to that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I say that because in a lot of ways, especially for me being, as Tyler stated earlier, you know, not only as a black man, me stepping into my blackness allowed me to become a better Christian, because I realized that my blackness is not mutually exclusive to me being a disciple of Christ. You know what I'm saying? Tyler, I don't know if you can relate to that. I mean, like, I know you said upon meeting you and stuff, your blackness is relatively new to you, yes. But I don't know if you can kind of relate to that, being a disciple of Christ, and tapping into your blackness. If it's not so much that like the black experience in itself made you a better Christian, but you realizing what your blackness meant, if that had any shift on your faith by any means.
Yeah, it absolutely did. You know, I look back at a lot of the civil rights leaders that came before me, such as Martin Luther King, such as, you know, I mean, Harriet Tubman, you know, all these people that led these kind of like, how would I put it? That led, I guess, protest, that really protested against the system, really protested against the things that were set up against us here in America, right? They were all Christians, you know, most of them. I'm not gonna say all of them, but most of them were Christians. And the church was really like the lead in all that, you know, during their time. And for me, I see a lack of that today. You know, I see a lack of the church really leading against systematic racism, leading against, you know, the things that are set up against people of color. And I ask myself, why? Why isn't the church in the front lines of all this? And I think it's because, you know, white supremacy, you know, all this stuff has really taken a hold of the church in a sense that people really don't know how to really like separate the two. You know, it's kind of ingrained within today's Christianity. So for me as a black man, looking up to leaders like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., I see the stance he took, and he kept it biblical. You know, he didn't go outside, you know, the scripture. You know, he kept it biblical, and he said, you know what, these people that are being oppressed are my neighbors, and I need to defend them. I need to stand up for them. I need to speak up for them. And he did that. So it's like, me as a Christian, I have that same responsibility to speak up for my brothers and sisters that are being attacked, that are being oppressed, that are being, you know, disenfranchised, you know, that are going through all this stuff. I have a responsibility as a man of God, because a lot of people are looking at me as a man of God and saying, what are you going to do about this? And it's my responsibility to use my voice as something that's going to speak against the system and make a change. So I think, you know, a lot of people like to separate the two, you know, like race and it's like, no, it's the same thing. You know, like, this is what we're supposed to be doing. So the fact that I don't see the church really doing that today really bugs me. So I'm like, man, I have a responsibility as a man of God because I am the church. I'm the church. It's not a building. It's me. It's Christ who lives in me. That's the church. So I have a responsibility to do that. And that's just the way I see things.
I think like the crazy thing, and I'm gonna get comfortable up in here. I got my tea, everything like that, drinking out of my Sonic mug, you know what I'm saying? And before you ask, so kind of like make people like freak out for a second. So for those that know, I have bipolar 2 disorder, and I do this thing where like I guess like in a lot of sense, like I reset. I call it a detox, right? So one of the things I do during my detox is like I kind of like strip like myself from in like eating certain things and stuff like that. So right now, for the third time since like Saturday, I'm having unsweetened room temperature tea right now. And a lot of people have been like very worried about me. They're like, what is wrong with you? They like, black man, are you okay? I'm like, I mean, if you don't think about it, it ain't that bad, I guess. I don't know. It's just, it's been pretty serious. But in all seriousness, because like a lot of things are nutrition based as far as like me, with like my I try not to call it a mental illness. So like as far as like me sustaining and nurturing mental wellness, I have to do certain things, and it beats me taking a whole bunch of pills that make me want to throw up and make me feel like a robot. So yeah, I'm over here drinking my unsweetened tea, and I'm slowly dying on the inside. But guess what? I is here. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but one of the things I was saying is it's funny how like for me, and I talked about this numerous times, especially on my platform, but like it's that stigma I think that like blackness gets in a lot of ways, because like people think like when we're talking blackness, for instance, they're like, oh man, and it seems to be like a thing when we're talking about on the subject of whiteness, um when we're talking about like on the subject of whiteness per se, is that it picks out like, and I say like the worst things, but it picks out like the lowest common denominator and like the fringe examples of like each culture, each people, meaning like, of a people and stuff like that. And it dramatizes and it exploits it, and makes a mockery of it in a sense, and then they label it. So then, when we talk about blackness, people just assume that blackness is it's dark, and not talk about like hue version or pigmentation wise or anything like that, but they're talking about like it's dark because there's a certain type of, when I say dark, like dark aura, they almost equate it to like thuggish behavior, savage behavior, and everything like that. It's super aggressive. It's punch you in the mouth. It's crime. It's sex, drugs, rock and roll. Well, apparently rock and roll ain't ours anymore. Apparently it ain't, but like, even country music bites off of us, but that's besides the point. It's all ours at the end of the day. But and then like, it's it does become a bit like annoying in a sense, because like we have these boxes in which that like white society or whiteness puts as blackness, you know what I'm saying? And then but this is like the crazy thing about whiteness is like it clings on to the things that make us great, but then pushes away the things that don't make us great, but clings on to it if it's, cool in the moment. So like it's okay to be hip hop if you're the white kid that perms his hair and decides to go to HBCU for some god reason. I don't know why. And you know, you listen to a lot of hip hop and stuff because it makes you cool. You're expressing yourself, you're artistic, you're spunky, you're this, that, and the third. There's a reason why, in a lot of ways, that it's okay for white women to be aggressive. They can be aggressive, short-tempered, loud, belligerent, and they're being spunky. They're putting their foot down. There's a reason why affirmative action benefited white women more than it did black men. Let's just be honest for a second. But then I'm going there today, y'all. But if a black woman does the same thing, they are demonized, they are unprofessional, they are unkept, they are belligerent, you know what I'm saying? And it's that otherizing when we do it, or better yet, you pick and choose characteristics that describe us. And I think like the thing that we end up running into, if we're talking about us as a people, as far as like being, you know, congregating amongst one another and stuff like that, is we have allowed other people to not only demonize us, otherize us, dehumanize us, strip us from not only our native land, you know, our way of earning life and living, strip us of our fathers, our mothers, our children, and they pick and choose what we can have. You know what I'm saying? And what ends up happening is the white man will throw us scraps to what blackness is, and they pick and choose apparently what blackness is to us. And then what ends up happening is we cling on to it, in a sense. We cling on to these things that the white man said is blackness, and what happens? What do we get? We get people policing each other's blackness. I don't know about you, brother, but for me, that created a lot of self-hatred, identity issues for me, you know, growing up in like different communities and everything like that, growing up, and feeling like I never fit into any like camp lane box that people tried to put me into. Now I say to this day, don't try to put me in a box unless you fit me for a casket. You can't really box me in, especially when it comes to my blackness. But I don't know for you, brother, but for me, it caused a lot of self-hatred to the point for me that I hated myself. You know, I hated, like, I would denounce myself in my blackness. Like, I would literally just be like, I'm not black. I would claim everything else that in which I was mixed with. Because for me, that felt more bearable. And I realized this with therapy and with, you know, clinging on to the Christ and, you know, being loved by Yahshua the King and everything like that. I realized that me denouncing myself was a coping mechanism to not feel the sting or the wrath of what rejection really felt like from the hands of my community, because I wasn't black enough for them. Whether it was pigmentation, how I carried myself, how I articulated myself and pontificated myself, things I took interest in, things that I didn't take interest in, things that I said, things I didn't say, all that, all these rules to what it is to being black, on top of the rules that we have to kind of abide by to not only cope but survive in this white world in being black. So my brother, the question I have for you today, and anybody else too, and like I said, if anybody is actually, you know, curious to join in this conversation, the link is pinged up in the YouTube chat, also as well on the Twitch and the Facebook page on Tetelestai Incorporated. If you love to join in on this conversation, you don't gotta be saved to talk with kinfolk. I'll talk to anybody. You know what I'm saying? I mean, my only rule is, when I say rule, be respectful on here. You know what I'm saying? You know, like don't speak over one another. We like to amplify one another and have a conversation with amongst kinfolk. If you guys smoke. You gotta drink. Be responsible and just don't get naked. So when I say that, it's like, one, just don't get naked. Like, there's no way we can like halfway get naked. Just don't get naked. Like, we don't have to change the rating. I'm gonna have to apologize to somebody's children that are watching this. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't want to see my nipples. I don't want to see y'all nipples. I don't want to see no kitty cat, because I got dogs in here, and I don't like it. Just, we just not gonna have that. You know what I'm saying? This is a family show at the end of the day. And we gonna keep it civil. But my brother, what I'm asking is, have you ever experienced in which, when we're talking about policing and blackness, any period in which that you like hated yourself because your blackness did not look like somebody else's, or because it did not fit the mold that somebody else tried to set for you?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. For me, I think it was more subconsciously though. I don't think it was like necessarily like I knew I hated myself because of that. But now that I'm like digging more into my blackness and, you know, doing my research and really like learning what it is to be black, I think I realized I had a lot of that growing up. Because, you know, I've told you, I went to all white schools growing up, like from kindergarten to middle school. I was in purely all white schools where it was all white, right? With like maybe 3 black kids in the whole school beside me. And yeah, man, I think like growing up, I was very confused about what black was, you know, not that I was necessarily trying to be black. I think subconsciously I was, but then I didn't know what that was, type of thing. It was really confusing. But for me, yeah, you know, growing up, I fell into, especially in high school, I fell into the whole trying to be hood, right? Trying to be quote unquote ghetto, right? So I would like dress thuggish, you know what I mean? And that's just because in the era I grew up in, and we both grew up in the same era, bro. I grew up in the whole 50 Cent, G Unit, gangsta, like, you know, everyone was doing gangsta rap. Like, that's what you had to do. You know what I mean? When people like Lupe Fiasco came out, everyone's like, who's this dude? Like, this nerd. You know what I mean? When like Kanye West came out and he was rocking like the polos and the preppy look, people were like making fun of him, like, what's this dude wearing? You know what I mean? Little did we know Kanye West would change fashion forever. But when it first came out, he got clowned for dressing the way he dressed, you know, because that wasn't black, you know, that was white, right? So I think like for me, I had a lot of that challenge growing up where it was like black means to be hood, black means to be ghetto, black means to be this, to be that, right? That's because I was influenced growing up. I was very, you know, I was very, very influenced by hip hop culture, and that's just what was popping during that time. So I would dress like that. I would try to act like that or whatever, even though that wasn't me. That's still what I would do. Even in middle school, like you know, I would listen to rock and roll. You know what I mean? Because growing up, my parents, I listened to everything. You know, I listened to rock, hip hop, R&B. Like I listened to everything, and still do to this day. But in middle school, I used to get clowned for listening to rock. You know, now rock and roll is like, you know, cool with like hip hop dudes now. But back then, like you would get clowned for being black and listening to rock. So it's like, yeah, man, it was definitely an identity crisis for sure for me on what black really was. But yeah, bro, I think subconsciously I did go through that hatred of, you know, I mean, I'm not black enough, you know, what is black? You know, it's black this, black that type of thing.
Yeah, because if you really think about it, it's kind of like, and we kind of get this as disciples. So I don't really, not really. I just don't allow somebody to tell me what black is. Because I realize that it's the devil, essentially. And I say that because, like, think about it, like when Adam and Eve were in the garden, and after they fell in the garden and everything like that, and Satan was like, they're like, God, don't look at us, we're naked. And then God's like, who told y'all was naked? You know what I'm saying? Like they were complete. That's what I'm saying. Like they were completely fine before, until shame and guilt crept in their hearts. And I feel like sometimes what we end up doing is we end up like what we end up doing is like we end up like telling people in which what it means to be, you basically need to shape and assimilate yourself to something that's going to make us accept you, or otherwise, what's going to end up happening is you're going to be outcasted. One of the coolest things I saw in my life last year, to be exact, was during the height of the protests we had. One of these protests in particular, in which that like I led essentially. I don't want to say I led, but I was like a prominent like role in, as far as like speaking wise and everything like that. There was when I say all shades of black, not just like color wise, mean like, dark to light black folk, but like there was the nerdy black kids, the band geeks, because there are cool band people. Okay. I just happen to be neither one of them. So there was the comic book kids, there was the kids that played with trading cards, there was the jocks, debate blacks, didn't really do any like school club blacks. There was the skaters, there was the haters, there was the battle rap kids. See, I was kind of cool because I did battle rap in a sense. But then I found Jesus, and I don't think I'm saved enough to go back into battle rap personally. I don't know. I mean, y'all heard my mouth on the Zooms. I don't think you should put a beat behind it and I'm supposed to like attack somebody. I don't know. That's just me. But I think like the thing, and it's funny because James just said it right here. It's kind of wild that hood and rap culture is equal to rap. Hood and rap culture is equal to rap culture. But yeah, man, it's like and I think that's the thing that's dangerous, is like it becomes in a lot of ways, I want to say in a lot of ways it becomes constricting, because like what ends up happening is like we're telling black people, we're telling our people, us as a people, we're telling our people there's only certain ways to express yourself. And I think that's very constricting and damaging. You know what I'm saying? Some of us only know how to express ourselves in certain ways. I got a bad back and my knees are bad. I'm not going to be like out here, y'all. I used to crump back in the day, but I can't, I can't tut for days. I can't, I don't, do people still pop, lock, and drop it? I don't know. I'm old. But, that's what we're getting at. My black don't gotta look like your black, and that's okay. Your black don't gotta look like my black. I think the problem is, though, is we equate pro-blackness to Tyler. We equate blackness to Casper. We equate blackness to Jay-Z. We equate blackness to Donald Glover. We equate blackness to Candace Owens. I'm kidding. She has heat damage, and yeah. Anyway, we equate blackness to like Snoop Dogg. We equate blackness to Kyle, yo, with the snaggletooth. You know what I'm saying? Or Timbaland or Swizz. But we won't equate blackness to somebody that just got a full ride to school outside of athletics, mind you. Outside of athletics, we won't equate blackness to somebody starting their own business, and it's not in the general art form, talking about whether it's like fashion or like sports or cannabis, and people think everybody's just trying to start their own liquor, snack, and something else. You know what I'm saying? If it's not what white says is black, it's not black. And I just wonder sometimes, and I would love to hear somebody kind of reconcile this for me. Where in the hell do we get off? Where in the hell do we get off telling other people how to be themselves? Be theyselves. You know what I'm saying? How to be theyselves. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell Jay-Z how to be Jay-Z. Yep. You just cannot. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't. You can't.
No, brother.
tell Tyler. I'll never tell Tyler. I'm serious. Like, I'll never tell Tyler how to be Tyler, because Tyler is Tyler. Tyler's the best Tyler can be.
Exactly.
And vice versa. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Go ahead. You had some thoughts on that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, bro, remember that episode of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when Will and Carlton were trying to get into that what do you call him, the college thing, fraternity. They were trying to get into that fraternity, and dude at the end tells Carlton, "Oh, I don't want no sellouts in my fraternity," right? And he was totally dogging Carlton out for, you know, being preppy, being rich, you know, being raised in a good neighborhood, all this stuff. And he said, that's not what black is. And then Carlton stood up and said, "Oh, you're saying I'm not black because I came from a good family, because I'm rich, because I live in a big house, because I dress this way? Oh, you the biggest sellout, homie." You know what I mean? And he totally put that dude in his place. That's what we do to each other. You know, as sad as it is, a lot of black people, we do that to each other. We say, "Oh, if you're not hood, you're not black. If you didn't come from the ghetto, you're not black. If you live in the suburbs, you're not black. If you're this, if you're that, if you..." And it's like, we do that to each other, bro. It's like, I just hate it when we automatically put this word ghetto with blackness, when ghetto is not an exclusive thing to black. There's ghetto people in every race. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for us to do that to each other and say blackness can only look like this, that's where like white people get it a lot of times.
Like, right? Honey Boo Boo ain't never exist.
You know what I'm saying?
That little white girl was ghetto as hell.
Hell yeah.
Like, that little white girl was ghetto as hell.
God, we got trailer parks, bro, full of white people that are white trash. You know what I mean? That are broke. You know what I mean?
Black Girl Warrior said, if you could, apparently somebody was sleeping in the back of the church, King. I think she would like you to capitulate that, pontificate that to the best of your ability through your vocal cords, King. One more time, please. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
No. What I was saying though was that we automatically say, if you're black and you don't act this way, if you don't dress this way, if you don't come from the hood, if you didn't grow up on Section 8 and with government cheese and government assistance, then you're not black. And it's like, for us to do that to each other, that's where white people get that from. You know what I mean? White people get that and say, "Oh, this is what the black people are saying, so hey, let me go ahead and say the same thing and say if you're not..." And then that's a big problem in our community, bro. And it's like, you know, it bugs me that you know, because look, at the end of the day, be you. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, just like Casper said, be you. I can't tell you what you should or shouldn't be. You have to be yourself. And I respect you for however you are. Like I said, I grew up with all kinds of different kids. I grew up with the nerds. I grew up with the skaters. I grew up with this. I grew up with that. And speaking of which, you know, it's funny how, like, you know, I mentioned him earlier, Lupe Fiasco, when he came out, he was doing very conscious rap, and he came out with that song Kick Push, which is like one of my favorite songs to this day. But dudes were clowning dude because he was black, rapping about skateboarding. And of course, we know the underlying meaning of that song is something different, but the surface level of it was everyone was like, "Oh, this is a skateboard song," right? And people were clowning him for doing that, right? Because that's not black. You know what I mean? Dudes who ride skateboards ain't black, right? But now you see all kinds of black dudes riding skateboards, you know, black girls riding skateboards. You know what I mean? Like I said earlier, rock. You know what I mean? I used to get made fun of in middle school for listening to rock and roll. Now it's like rock and hip hop is like the same thing essentially. You know, you got guys like Juice WRLD who were rapping over rock beats. You know what I mean? I know he got clowned for it, but Lil Wayne came out with a rock album and people were like, "Lil Wayne, what you doing?" You know what I mean? We're rapping over rock beats. Like, what is this? You know, it's like we have such a, like, we as black people have such a messed up, distorted view of who we really are. And we have such a messed up, distorted view of what black culture is, that we really dog our own and say, "Hey, if you don't match my definition of what blackness is, then you're not black." And that's messed up. You know what I mean? It's totally messed up.
And I say this in a lot of ways. The African American experience, or the the American descendant of slavery experience, is not exclusive to a color, a sound, a flavor, a beat, you know what I'm saying? And it's just, it's like, it's, I think like the thing that gets really aggravating about it is like what ends up happening, and I don't think people realizing it, is that especially when it comes to our community, is we will fight so hard to tell somebody that they don't belong, and then they leave, and then we get mad that they left. You know what I'm saying? And I say this, you know, and to be complete, this is completely out of love and criticism. You know what I'm saying? This is out of much love and criticism because I love my culture, I love my people. But just like everything, I don't like everything Taco Bell does. I don't know what part of the animal kingdom the meat is made out of, but I know if I put some adobo on it, I mean, like it's 1-800-SMACK. You know what I'm saying? So when I say this, like there's an African proverb that says a child that is not embraced by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth. And sometimes what ends up happening is when we end up policing people's blackness and we end up telling people they're not black enough or they're just not black, period, because they walk differently, they talk differently, they pop and lock differently, they clap on they clap on 2 and 4 instead of 1 and 3. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? If they don't assimilate to our version of blackness as individuals or as a group's version of blackness, then we just equate it to they're not black at all. But I feel like for me, and I think this isn't talked about enough, blackness in itself is loving yourself for however you look and fall in the diaspora. You know what I'm saying? We got people like Maya, you know what I'm saying? Queen Maya. Queen Maya has albinism. I call her golden, but she's a black woman. Like she has the Afrocentric features and everything, the lips, the nose, you know what I'm saying? All that. Like that, she just sounds like Africa when she speaks. Not like she talking like this, but like she just sounds like, she literally sounds like every big mama that like loved on me growing up and everything like that. But because of what she looked like, or better yet, we look at her outward makeup and tell her that her genetic makeup is not enough. You know what I'm saying? But once again, the black looks like, in a lot of ways, black looks like everything. Black is everything, especially when we're talking about like genetics. We're talking about sound. We're talking about food. Life literally began with us. So it just seems a bit funny that what ends up happening is life began with us and we're called Mother Africa, you know, the country of love. And I'm speaking strictly for the American descendants of slavery. We have the hardest time loving each other. And thus, how you love one another is a reflection on how you love yourself. You know what I'm saying? I can honestly say after I stopped this journey of hating myself and my journey of loving myself, it allowed me to appreciate other people's blacknesses more. Not so much that I demonized it, but I didn't feel threatened when I got around other people, because at one point, because I was traumatized by certain people's blackness, anytime I got around somebody that was like that, I was like, oh crap, I just know we not gonna be able to coexist. You know what I'm saying? But once I got to a place in my blackness and I was able to accept myself for who I am, I was like, oh, I don't care how you act. What you do ain't got nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? And I think we kind of need to get to a place with that, because, and I think that's something that we honestly have to be like really, really honest with ourselves is, do you really love you? Black man, black woman, black king, black queen, black prince, black princess, black royalty for our non-binary folk. You know what I'm saying? Do you really love you? Because if you don't love you, how can you love? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to get super weird and spiritual. If you don't love yourself, you don't love. That's not true. It's not exactly true, because sometimes people need to teach you how to love you. Some people really need to teach you how to love you. It took that from me. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't even like your own blackness, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I don't know. I don't know, bro. I mean, if I'm pulling on somebody's baby hairs in the comment section, and you watching or listening to the playback of this, let me know. You can leave voicemails in my my podcast episodes. We have the voicemail link that y'all could drop a voicemail. Just don't get weird and whisper to me, because I heard one of y'all is nasty. One of y'all is nasty. No, I'm so serious. And whoever you are, one of them was whispering to me, bro. Like, I'm not editing this out either. Like, don't leave me voice messages and whisper to me, bro. That's weird. Like, my ear felt hella what's the word? Like airy and humid afterwards. It's like, ew, don't breathe in my ear like that. This is weird. It was weird. Somebody's child wanted to let me know they loved my podcast, but they were a little too breathy for me. I couldn't take it. But that's completely silent.
That's crazy. But real quick, bro, just to elaborate on what you said, I think a lot of that comes from what do you say? Let me That's funny. So yeah, bro, I think a lot of that comes from what we've been taught, from the history that we've been here in this country, as far as what the white slave masters taught our ancestors, which is black isn't beautiful, black is evil, and that's still going on today. Those teachings are still going on today. Just look at the Mormon church. You know what I mean? I've read the Book of Mormon, and it literally says black is a curse, or black is sin, or it says something about black. And that's what's been taught to us, that's why a lot of black people have hatred towards their own, and whether they realize it or not, through that, they're assimilating to white supremacy. They're assimilating to whiteness. And it's like, we got to kill that, bro. We got to say, you know what? Black is beautiful. We need to come together as a people and say, we're going to kill this white supremacy evil spirit, this demonic spirit that's been over us for so long, and love one another and come together. That's why with gangs, that's why gangs are the way they are today, because the leaders that went against the grain, such as Fred Hampton, who, started the Black Panther Party. That's why he was so, adamant on like bringing black people together, going against that. If you watch Judas and the Black Messiah, he went up to, gangs and all this and was like, hey, brother, why are we so against each other? Let's come together. He got black people, white people, Puerto Ricans, Mexicans. He got all these different people from all these different races and said, I'm going to form a rainbow coalition and I'm going to bring everyone together and we're going to fight against this system that is, against us. And he did that, and that's why they had to get rid of him, because they're like, this dude's a problem. We got to get rid of him. That's why they killed him. But, yeah, bro, I just think that white supremacy evil spirit has been over black people so long. And it's like, we got to kill that, bro. We got to come together and say, and I think that's what's happening. If we see with the protests that happened all last year, even to this day, we're seeing black, white, brown, everybody coming together and saying, police brutality is wrong. All this stuff is wrong. And there's changes that are being made. I truly believe that. It's a process, but it's happening. So I think that we have a responsibility. Me, you, whoever's watching this, we all have a responsibility to take a stand and say, I'm not gonna, like, racism isn't cool. Racism is evil, and we need to go against that and say, you know what, we're all humans. Because we know race is a social construct. We know that it was created. But at the end of the day, we are looked at different based on the color of our skin. So we need to kill that evilness and say, you know what, let's rise up as people and come together and just, fight for one another, love one another, love ourselves for who we are. So.
And then, the crazy thing is, though, is like what isn't admitted out loud. And I'm just going to say it. I mean, it's kind of admitted, but these people are getting like muzzled in a sense, and they're kind of like being lost in the sauce. Is like, we're dealing with this from like people that really ain't as pro-black as they really think they is. Like, hoteps are freaking weird. Like, look, bro. Moderators, be good. You make sure that they don't get their feelings hurt in this comment section. Matter of fact, let me take my button up on. You know what I'm saying? I got the power of the Black Panther about to come out on this episode. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, dog, like, it's just like when I say that it be people that really are more, oh gosh, that man, that doggone unsweetened tea, I can't do it. I'm gonna rinse it out a little bit with this Coke zero sugar. You heard me? Tastes like the water in Flint. I'm gonna need the government to do better. Anyway, I'm kidding. I don't know what the water in Flint tastes like, and I don't want to be disrespectful, so I completely and utterly apologize and repent for that. Because it might be a lot more toxic, and I want to be sensitive to somebody's situation. But it really be people that are actually doing more harm than good when they're telling people what black is. Like, people tell like other American descendants of slave that if you do not date, no, I don't want to say date because they make it seem so inhumane when I say this. They're pretty much like, if you don't procreate, they use the term procreate. You know what I'm saying? If you don't procreate with another descendant of slave or somebody from the African diaspora, then you are not pro-black. And just a thought, and if any of my my queens in the comment section, if you disagree with this, please let me know. If I feel like it seems like I'm black mansplaining black women struggles and plight, please let me know. Or if you want to hop on here and pull my baby hairs personally, please let me know. But I feel like if you literally and solely look to just procreate with somebody simply because of their skin tone for some weird, and when I say weird, some like a genealogy obsession, I feel like you end up fetishizing your own people when you do so. And I'm speaking just for black men because I hear this. I mean, I hear it from black women too, but I talk to brothers first. I'm not about to tell a woman, like, I'm not about to argue with some of my sisters. I'm gonna let my sisters argue with that. But yeah, my queens in the comment section, do you think, I mean, personally, it just seems weird, like, oh no, you need to procreate, like a breeding process, like dogs, like it just seems really weird that you find two suitors and you lock them in a room, probably play some Redbone by Childish Gambino or like the Gap Band or Charlie Wilson or Anthony Hamilton or Solange or whatever, bro, or her, because her slaps, you know what I'm saying, or Snow Allegra, but that's besides the point. Wait, does that count? She's not black. Anyway, but I think like the craziness about it, in which what does sound so crazy, is the fact that like you turn something that's supposed to be beautiful, it's supposed to be romantic, it's supposed to be thoughtful, and if you want to get nerdy and super, because I grew up on telenovelas, and you know, it doesn't have a pretty ending when you say, oh, you have to, like, it just sounds freaking weird. Can you inseminate my daughter with your seeds and procreate and repopulate Africa? Like, that just seems really freaking weird. And I know it sounds a little neurotic that I'm putting it that way, but bruh, like, my queens are not like, bruh, they're not like test tubes. You know what I'm saying? They're not like when I say dogs, because it sounds really dehumanizing. Once again, black women, let me know if I'm crossing the line, if I'm speaking out of hand. You know what I'm saying? But my dog, if he's neutered, he's fixed. It's over. That's it. it's kind of wild that we will sit here and just completely just say, if you have to be with this, not even her, but this. Black doesn't tell me if they're a good person. Black doesn't tell me if they love people. Black doesn't tell me that they use washcloths. I'm sorry, some of y'all don't use washcloths. Some of y'all don't use washcloths. You know what I'm saying? Forget if y'all don't forget if you don't if you like flats over drums, bro. If you don't use a washcloth, like, anyway, I don't know if there's enough room in hell. But seriously, dude, it just seems so dehumanizing that we completely have stripped what it's like to make, like, I'm not trying to get super weird because I'm single and ashy. I'm not supposed to be doing the stuff anyway. But like, I just don't like the idea of when somebody says you have to procreate with these genes because if not, then you are not, like, that's it. That doesn't tell me honor the Black woman, to speak life into the Black woman, edify the Black woman, inspire the Black woman, tell the Black woman she's beautiful in a world that she's ugly all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't do that for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, Tyler. What you think? What you think over there, blonde man? What you got for me, dog?
No, it's true, bro. It's like it's fetishizing, bro. Like, to say, oh, I'm only gonna be with this because this is just what I'm supposed to be because I'm pro-Black. It's like fetishizing, bro. You're fetishizing Black women, Black men, however it goes. It's no different than these white girls out here that be like, oh, I just love Black men. You know, I just want a Black man because I want a Black and white baby. It's like, it's the same thing. Like, what's
Not
wrong
even
with
that.
you?
You know what's really weird is, like, bro, you fetishize your kids when you do that. Like, it's a little weird. Like,
Exactly.
oh, I want my kids to look. I want my kids to look like this. It just seems a little weird. It just a little weird, bro. Just a little weird. Just a little bit. Once again, Black women in the comment section. Black woman in the comment section, if y'all want to hop in here and pull me by my baby hairs, let me know. The link is pinged up in the YouTube comment section. But seriously, bro, it's like, please don't completely diminish. Oh, brother James hopped in here. Please don't completely diminish the Black experience in which that we act with one another and we live with one another in harmony to genetics. Like, it's just weird. So I got my brother, for those that are listening, I got my brother from Alaska, one of the most beautiful Black men I know. Not that I've met ugly anyway, but one of my brothers from Alaska, brother James. How you doing today, sir? That beautiful crazy life out of Alaska. How you doing today, sir?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
So on this subject in itself, let me get rid of this doggone thing so I can see my face. So on this subject in itself, we're talking about, you know, this like weird obsession, and I call it obsession because it is weird. That you can't be pro-Black if you don't procreate with Black, and how problematic that is. I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this, Black man, beautiful Black man from Alaska? How you doing today? How you doing? Like, share your thoughts, Black man.
I have a lot of this. Having a mixed race child, you know, I've gotten some interesting remarks about how much I love my own people because of that. It's silly. I don't pay much attention to it because those people are ignorant. You know, you can love whoever you wish to love. That doesn't mean that you don't care for your own people. It doesn't mean that you want to move up on the racial ladder or that you've been colonized, whatever the crap people say, you know, whatever those nonsensical Israeli Hebrewites, whatever they call themselves, fake wannabes who say they love Black. You know, whatever they have to say is nonsensical. You know, I mean, it all ties into this kind of craziness that you have to hit all these markers to be Black. You know, like I was thinking as I was listening to this conversation, like, you know, I've been accused of not being black enough for so many reasons. One, like the way I talk, like, I don't know where my pattern of talking comes from, but I do have some mannerisms that are pretty, I don't know, I guess like white in general, which is weird because I did mostly grow up with black people, but I get accused of not being black enough for living in Alaska, even though Alaska has a huge black population. I get accused of not being black enough because the way I talk, even though like, bro, I'm literally from the hood. You know how people be like, I'm from the hood? Like I'm actually from the hood. Like actually from the hood.
I'm not. I'm from Wichita, Kansas.
You know,
I got no shame in my game, bro. Like I am from the land of twisters and humidity. Hear me?
Which is a form of blackness, because being from the hood doesn't mean you're not black. It just means my mom couldn't afford to live anywhere else. I'm pretty sure my mom did not want to raise us where we grew up, right? And then my dad was like a black nationalist, and so I knew who Fred Hampton was and the Black Panthers was when I was like in second grade. Bro, I was already a Black Panther by the time I was in second grade, which is wild. There's a lot to deconstruct there, but like all these things people accuse me of, even though like I grew up so black, I listened to nothing but black music. I didn't know what that Journey song was that white people love so much that they play at parties. How's it go? The Detroit one. Until I was 20 years old, I never heard that song. When I was in college, like I don't think people realize how like steeped I was in black culture growing up. And yeah, because of the way I talk or where I grew up, or because my daughter is half white, somehow I'm not black enough. Bro, if I'm not black enough, the guy who didn't know what a Journey song was, then I don't know what black is anymore. I completely give up at this point. Like people are making stuff up and it's nonsense.
Look, Journey's dope. I don't care what no one say. Journey got some hits. I'm just saying.
I have no idea. I don't have nothing against rock. I didn't grow up with it and it never interests me. So I just don't know what it is. No, check it out.
I think the thing that's kind of crazy is that this is not acknowledged. Well, actually, this is acknowledged because we have terms like Hakuna Matata. You know what I'm saying? When people be blacker than the ace of spades, but they be out here like Harriet Tubman with that revolver. You know what I'm saying? And if we can admit out loud that you can assimilate to whiteness and be black,
right,
then how can you say that being with somebody simply because of their pigmentation or their genetics, that it negates your blackness?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No, it's true. It's true. It's like, I always tell people, what happened to just falling in love with someone because they're a good person or because they got a good heart or they treat you well? You know what I'm saying?
Unless they eat Cheerios, not the honey nut kind with no sugar in it.
Yeah. That's definitely a technical foul for sure. But for me, it's like I'm with my girlfriend. I've been with her for 4 years. She's Mexican, right? I didn't fall in love with her because I'm half Mexican, right? So if I was the type of person like, oh, I'm part Mexican, so I can just be with a Mexican woman, that's what I'm gonna go after. I didn't get with her because she's Mexican. I got with her because she has a good heart. She's a good person, you know what I mean? We get along. She's the most loving, caring woman I've ever been with. You know, that's why I'm with her. If she was white, I'd be with her for the same reason. You know what I mean? Like, she was black. It bugs me when people are like, I can only date this person because I want to show people how pro-black I am. First of all, if you're dating to prove something to someone else, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. I'm going to say that. So it's like, for me, I don't give a damn if you want to say I'm not pro-black because I'm not with a black woman. I don't give a damn, okay? At the end of the day, I'm going to be with who I want to be with because they're good, they treat me well, they love me, and that's it. You know what I mean? And they're a godly woman. You know, my girlfriend.
And not even that, but it's like, yo, you should want to be with somebody simply because they treat you well. So you're telling me I need to subject. I'm not, and mind you, I'm not saying this. I want to be very, 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 very clear with what I am saying. I'm not saying that I have not found a black woman that is going to treat me well. I just haven't found anybody, to be honest. Why? Because I'm single and I'm ashy and I'm not really like, I'm not that frisky. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. I got a sonic pillow. I got my dog. I'm all right. You know what I'm saying? But but what I'm saying is, so you're telling me it's better to subject myself with somebody that does not value. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm single and ashy. Like that, I go there with it. But but hey, yo, y'all out of pocket. But I think that's super important when we talk about this. It's like, so you're telling me I need to subject myself just because of representation. You know what I'm saying? I need to subject myself to somebody that could be emotionally, mentally, physically abusive. You know what I'm saying? Because I have been physically abused before. You know what I'm saying? They don't talk about that being men in general, but that's besides the point. But I just think that it's crazy when we tell people that you got it's like you have to. It sounds like an arranged marriage. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're telling, or better yet, because we're not even talking about marriage, we're just talking about procreation at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like you're telling me I just need to nuzzle up with somebody simply because of their genetic makeup. Doesn't matter what their personality is. Doesn't matter if they actually love me and care about me, but because they give me black children. You know what I'm saying? That's wild. Like, bruh, I want a wife, not a Tamagotchi. Or like or what is it? What's that thing that they had back in the day? Build-A-Bear? You know what I'm saying? Like build a black woman or something. Like don't belittle the black experience to me. I'm serious. Like come on, bro. It just seems it's very dehumanizing, bro. And I don't think that people understand that. Like you talk like that. I'm telling you, it's like me going to get my dog if he wasn't neutered and be like, oh, you see that dog? They would just make adorable puppies. But instead, I did that with people. That seems weird. Super weird. I don't know.
No, it's true, bro. It's like, okay, so this is interesting because I remember a while ago I was watching Hot 97. They have this Ebro in the morning, and I watched some of their, morning. They talk about different subjects, and they were talking about this, how they had people call into the radio station, and they were like, "Do you think someone could be pro-black and be outside the race?" Some people say yes, some people said no, and they had the subject of Childish Gambino because he had just came out with "This Is America," and they're like, "Oh, Childish Gambino, he's woke." You know what I mean? He's making this song that's exposing America, right? And then, but Childish Gambino, I believe at the time he had like a white girlfriend or wife. I'm not sure, but they were saying, Childish Gambino seems to be.
If I'm not mistaken, I think his baby mama is white. Not that I care, but I think his baby mama's white. If I'm not mistaken, yeah.
Right, exactly. So that's why they were talking about it, and they brought up a good point. They said, Childish Gambino, the reason he probably got with a white woman was because probably all the black women he ever approached were like, "Oh, you're not black enough because you dress a certain way or you speak proper or whatever," right? So it's like, what do you expect a man to do? You know what I mean? Like he's approaching all these black women. I'm not saying this is just speculation they were saying, but it's like that's a reality for some black men, if we're being honest. Like black men that talk proper, dress a certain way, maybe they dress preppy, maybe they act quote unquote white, right? And then they approach black women, and black women's like, "I ain't gonna get with you, you nerd. Like, who are you? Like, get out of here." You know what I mean? And then it's like, but then he has a white woman who comes around and likes him and wants to be with him. What's he supposed to do? You know what I mean? He's trying to get, and I'm not saying all black women are like that. That's not what I'm saying. I don't want to offend anyone. But I'm just saying there are people out there that
ain't about offending anybody. You just might provoke somebody to want to jump in this stream. But I mean, like, this is good conversation. But I think this conversation is important, and trying to seek nuances in this, I think, is important. Right. But yeah, you're speaking from your experience. As long as you don't say, and I quote, "I speak for all nerdy black men," I'd be like, "No, you don't, nigga."
Yeah, exactly. And but there are people like that who will be like, "Oh, I'm not gonna get with you because you're not black enough." There are people that are like that, and it's like, but at the end of the day, like James said earlier, he's been called you know, he said been called that he acts white because he talks proper, and it's like, and I've had the same thing. You know, what I mean, I've had Black people who are like, "Why do you talk white? You know, why don't you talk Black?" And I'm like, "What does that mean? Like, what are y'all saying? Like, what is it to talk Black? Like, was it because I'm speaking proper? Because I like to pronounce on my, like, that makes me white or it makes me sound white?" That's something I never understood ever. And I'm just like,
that's what I'm talking about as far as like the self-hatred goes, because you're telling me I have to speak improper to be Black.
Yeah, exactly.
Nigga, Africans invented algebra. Like, don't do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm being like, and I tell people this all the time. It makes me so mad just because I use SAT words. And that's not to say I'm smarter than anybody, because there's a lot of articulate idiots. I'm sorry. There's a lot of them. Have you met Ben Shapiro and his angry eyebrows? That's completely besides the point. But like, yo, it blows my mind when people say like they equate intelligence. They equate intelligence to whiteness, and anything less than that, or just the bottom of the barrel, it seems, to Blackness. Like, don't do that, bro. And I always tell Black people, don't belittle yourself. White people, don't flatter yourself. Like, it's ridiculous, man. Black people invented stop signs. You think you could do it on your own? Go ahead. I hope you know the Lord afterwards. Man, I need a smoke. Somebody else hop in here real quick. Good Lord.
It all goes back to white supremacy, though. You know, during the civil rights movement, there was a debate between people within the activist community, because a lot of people like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, who both of those men I greatly admire and thank them for their sacrifices, they believe that the only way they could win is if Black people dropped things like Ebonics, you know. But even that's like very problematic, you know, in hindsight. I get where they were coming from, a different time period, but it's like, we shouldn't equate language to intelligence to begin with, you know. I think the whole thing, like, who decides who gets to talk properly? White people decide. White people in universities have decided what is proper English, which is bullshit. Because one, whoever speaks proper English is probably the English to begin with, since it's their language. But language forms and evolves. And people should be able to speak how they want and not have their intelligence equated to it. And so I think a lot of Black people just have self-hate, where to them, because they see whiteness, well, it comes from two sides. One, people see whiteness as maybe uncool. So if you speak a certain way, it's uncool. But then on the other side is like, if you seem to appear smart or talk well, then you're seen as maybe better than other people. So there's a self-hate, and then there's this also like looking up to certain groups of people. You know, it's so mixed up, but it's all white supremacy, to be quite frank and honest. And I just want to live in a world where if someone wants to pronounce acts like you're axing somebody, they can. And I know what they're saying. If someone wants to, you know, just has a little bit of a Southern, you know, twang, whatever, and they don't pronounce they pronounce their THs like Fs, because that's how I pronounce my THs. They all sound like F. Deaf and deaf sound the same when I talk. That should be fine too. You know, I just hope that we can deconstruct that a little bit, for people can be more free and just be okay. Like, there's people who can maybe talk a certain way, but they'll probably out-philosophize you and outright you, and that should be fine. And colonization just kind of really screwed up so much on what we see as proper and as improper. It's all sick.
Yeah, it's wild. It's just, and I think like the thing that we won't, and it goes back to that, like that self-love thing. It's like they have this inferior like way of what love means, especially for oneself, because you do tell yourself, like, for instance, like when we're talking about, like, for instance, I'm a very I'm not cocky in a lot of things, but I would like to say I'm an emotionally intelligent person, meaning I'm very intelligent on how I am feeling. I'm very self-aware about my emotions. That is not Black. Bruh, about maybe, I want to say maybe even 15 years ago, I would be called crazy, I would be called every stigmatizing word in the book for even talking the way that we talk now as Black men, talking about mental illness, trauma, you know, hell, even going to bed on time. Like, when did getting a good night's sleep become like white for some odd reason? You know what I'm saying? And it's just kind of weird because, like, I say this all the time. I think like we don't realize that because we have to be conditioned to survive, in this country, we don't get the opportunity to live in this country. And what that comes with meanings like we're not able to experience this certain, just very simple things that other people and our other counterparts are able to. But yeah, it's just wild. It's upsetting, and it's especially upsetting when we're talking about just like when we're talking about the genealogy of it all. And it's like, bro, unless you are a brick of cocaine, ain't nobody pure out here. What you talking about, bro? Like somebody like Tyler is a first round draft pick from Mexico, but he Black as hell. Like, I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean that with all the endearment. You know what I'm saying? James kind of looks like he has like a little bit of Polynesian in him. He just looks like it just from like some of my cousins, but he's still Black. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what side of I get called Girl Scout cookie sometimes because the Polynesian side, that's ignorant as hell. But bruh, come on, man. Like, stop being like this super weird, like DNA police. Like, if I could change my genetic makeup, I wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd still probably wearing 26-inch waists and 34 inseam pants just because. And it goes back to, you gotta love you for you. You gotta love your fingerprint, your imprint. You gotta love the mark that you leave on this world, and you gotta stop trying to put other people in boxes and thinking that anybody want to bang with you, because nobody want to bang with somebody that feels like that they have to kind of like morph into a version of themselves that just ain't them. You know what I'm saying? It's whack. Childish.
It's childish. It's child, you know, or something. I'm about to head out soon because I need to work out, but I was just gonna say this, you know, like, I'm actually really hopeful for our community though, because like a lot more people have been able to be ourselves and be accepted. You know, as I gotten older, I don't hear people being like, "Oh, you talk white" or something like that in a very long time. I mean, I think I've heard it from like white people because they're stupid. No. I've heard it from certain white people who are ignorant. There we go. But I'm, oh, geez, the anger. Lord help me, Holy Spirit, just help me here. I'm really hopeful for our community. You know, like, I think this is a good time to be Black. You know, like, this is what so many of our ancestors wanted, was just for you to be able to be free and be an individual and succeed. And so I think that's cool. I mean, there's always going to be generational gaps, regional gaps, all those things there. But bro, if anyone leaves this conversation like unhopeful, I think they're not seeing the big picture. Like, it's a good time to be a Black person with all our struggles. It's a good time. You can be the most beautiful Black person you ever want to be. I mean, we have just, it's great. Like, you see, like, even in our group, you know, you have someone like you're saying, like Maya, who has that deep, you know, just Southern Black woman voice. So I just love listening to her voice. And you have, you know, Tyler, who like looks Hispanic, got the blonde hair, is just Black and beautiful. And bro, look at me, bro. I'm super tan right now. Like, I am extra dark and I love it. I'm about to go out this, well, actually it's raining, but I'm gonna go on the sun tomorrow and get more Black because I get to enjoy my skin color and the way it looks. So Black people,
I know that's right, Black man. Go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Later, because I do need to lose this gut though. So to be even more beautiful. So I'll catch you.
We don't equate beauty to size. You know what I'm saying? You are not fat. You have fat. You have eyebrows. You are not eyebrows unless you're Ben Shapiro. I don't know what the hell is wrong with his eyebrows. They look like they need a counselor. I don't understand it. I don't know.
So I don't know if he counts. But I'll see you guys later.
Oh man, but hold on, what's this? Why is the stick Mason grabbed earlier? What? Oh, y'all disrespectful. Oh, y'all disrespectful. I'll put you in timeout. How about that? Like, V, how dare you? All of you disrespecting me while I'm talking to my brothers. All of y'all, the little ones, minus Jess, because Jess came out with an NBA, came out with an NBA contract out the womb. But the rest of y'all can headbutt a knife. How about that? Oh my gosh. So one of the things I wanted to talk about today, in regards to talking about this subject matter, because I've kind of just had this on my heart to talk about, and I'm gonna split all these up for content purposes. But going back to you don't own the rights to this blackness. Maybe this is just me. I don't like being told what to do. I just don't. I don't like, please, Tyler, I don't know if he's had to known this about me yet. Tyler, I mean, we haven't had that moment, but you can't make me do anything I don't want to do. You just can't. And vice versa. You know what I'm saying? But for me, in my blackness, oh, hell no. What? Well, you should have threw me in the ocean. What you mean? You should have threw somebody in the ocean. I don't know. Like, I couldn't be no doggone slave back in the day, boy. I couldn't be. But like when I'm talking about this, as far as like when I'm talking about blackness goes, in the fight of like liberation for American descendants of slavery, this becomes a bit tiresome. And we talked about this. Am I in time? No, you're not in timeout. I didn't put you in timeout. Who put you in timeout? I didn't put you in timeout. If I put you in timeout, you would have known if I put you in timeout. It would have read the Nadia bias is in timeout. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why y'all ain't show up in the anyway, but for me, when we're talking about, I done lost my train of thought messing with V over here. My gosh. Oh yeah. So I just don't like being told what to do in my blackness. You know what I'm saying? And when we're talking about like what it means as far as like a time period like this, I've been in a lot of ways, I've been very turned off. I've had to like, and I've never had to do this necessarily in my blackness, but I've had to protect my blackness from me, in a sense. And a lot of people don't understand that. So when I say this, I've basically, in a lot of ways, I guess you want to say taking a break. Or I'll say like this, Queen Jordan put it like this, and Tyler knows where I'm going with this. I have taken my book bag off as far as being an activist. What do I mean by that? Bruh, and this isn't to be like insensitive, and if somebody tries to get at me crazy, let me explain in the comment section. So I have no idea what's happening in the world. I don't. Unless you tell me. I don't look for it. I won't look for it. For reasons I've explained over the last couple of weeks, mentally and emotionally, I have been super tender, bruh. I don't want to, it sounds crazy to say like this. I don't want to be, how do I say it like this? You know what? I quote James Baldwin all the time. To be a Negro in this country and to be relatively conscious is to be in a state of rage all the time. I don't want to be angry all the time. So I have made it an effort not to be conscious of what is happening all the time. Because then I be smoking cigarettes as much as my sister over here. How you doing, Queen?
Why you gotta call me out like that? Damn,
bro, you be like eating cigarettes, dog. Like every time I see you, like I swear you are eating them like pixie sticks. My God, like how do I know it's really fire that you smoking on? And it's not the mist from the Tabascus. You know what I'm saying? And then V over here talking big in the comment section. What was you talking about in the comment section?
All
earlier?
I'm saying is when you said you had a 26-inch waist, I got jealous and I was like, damn, the stick Mason had earlier is bigger than that.
Hey, yo, y'all mad disrespectful. Y'all mad disrespectful. And before anybody get disrespectful in the comment section, my sister V, how do you pronounce your name, darling?
Vanita. Just ignore the I.
Vanita. Okay, I got you. I got you. And I'm learning this in myself, and I told my sister this. So Creole, if you want to kind of give like a little bit. First off, this is your first time on the Casper Podcast.
Yes.
First off, welcome. How you doing? Secondly, why don't you kind of like introduce yourself a little bit? Tell us a little bit about yourself, and then if you'd like to explain what it means to be Creole, because there may be people that are exposed to this conversation, and there's not a right or wrong way to go about this conversation, but you might end up opening somebody's eyes or ears to certain things. So why don't you go ahead and kind of like, introduce yourself, and then kind of, drop some gems in us. You heard me.
All right. So my name is Vanita. Everybody calls me V on TikTok or Nola because they don't realize that the last part of my name is my name. I am from Louisiana, born and raised. My mother is Creole. My father is Cajun. So basically, I'm mixed with black and white. If I was to go somewhere other than Louisiana, that's what I would tell people when they ask what Creole is. But Creole is more than just black and white. You have to have Native ancestry, Black ancestry, and either French, German, or Irish ancestry to be Creole. And you have to be born in Louisiana to be considered Louisiana Creole. There is a difference between Louisiana Creole and Haitian Creole. There is also a difference between Louisiana Creole and Cajun people. But mainly your Creoles are considered Black, and they will identify as Black for the most part. There are some white passing families that were Creole that stayed on the white side after Jim Crow, but most Creole families do identify as Black, and it's because of their heritage and their history within slavery. Creole families are also ones that during slavery times, especially in Louisiana, were able to buy themselves out, purchase land, and purchase their family from other slave owners, and they became their slaves, and which is kind of a way that they took their family out of slavery. But that's pretty much it. Like when it comes to Creole, I don't know what else you want me to talk about though. Other than I do.
No, you're good. No, you're good. I wanted to bring that up because I don't want nobody, because I had Maya on here, and if you haven't met my sister Maya before, she is a Black woman with albinism. Very white passing, but when you hear her talk, she sounds like Big Mama. So like you can't, and I brought that up because I think people think the Black experience is simply what is like when I say like the pigmentation makeup, not the genetic makeup that makes you to be what you are necessarily. Because I feel like sometimes, and as we all know about like like generational curses and stuff like that, you are not, what's the word? You are not exempt from whatever trauma in which that your own people, as far as like the African diaspora, came with just because of your pigmentation. So I thought to as you were coming in, I was like, you know what? Not that you need to explain yourself, but this is gonna be the first and last time you're gonna have to do that on my podcast. And if anybody got anything else to say, I'm coming for baby hairs and I'm applying aftershave. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate
it might burn, it might hurt. You know what I'm saying? You might get the razor bumps. I don't know. And yeah, so but yeah, I appreciate you coming on, Sister V. Jess, you getting in a double, huh? You took tonight off, but then you out here inhaling cigarettes. You know what I'm saying? Like you decided to bless us with your presence. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there was such a conversation about Black women. I figured, maybe some Black women should show up.
That's fine. And this is kind of interesting. If what's the word? If this may be an interesting conversation in which that we're talking about, where I'm talking about in a sense, and this may be different for you guys because I always forget this and it kind of gives me chills in a weird way. And you and me talk about this all the time, Queen Jess, is and I said this in your comment section last night, but like, Black men got to go through, white supremacy. They got to deal with, what it means to be a Black man in America. And then we got a pandemic. Black women have, white supremacy, the pandemic, suffering from the patriarchy, and Black men. You know what I'm saying? So you guys will be able to provide a different experience that I can't really argue about, because even though I am a Black man, I still reap the benefits of the patriarchy. But when we're talking about, for instance, and this may make sense and we'll see how this goes, and this may not be received well, but guess what? Sign up for the Patreon, because I'm not here to argue with people for free. But yeah, so I'm talking about protecting your Blackness from yourself. And I'm talking about just from my own personal experience. And Jess, you know this. Ty, you know this as well. I just quoted James Baldwin, to be a Negro in this country and to be relatively conscious is to be in a state of rage all the time. Well, mentally and emotionally, I ain't been good. So to not be angry all the time, I don't want to be conscious to like what's going on. So I really don't know. I don't know. And I'm not trying to say this to like be insensitive or be ignorant by any means. And I don't even want y'all to tell me right now. Because I think that this will be important when we're talking about mental health inside of the African diaspora, especially for American descendants of slavery, regardless of what shade you come in. You know what I'm saying? I believe if you got a little bit of chocolate syrup and milk, you would chocolate milk. So that's it. We're not arguing with that. If anybody else want to argue with that, you can headbutt a knife. That's all I said. But yeah. So, but when I say this though, I don't want to know what's going on right now. And this is a very weird time for me because obviously I know Black liberation is important. I just don't want to know about, I just don't right now, just for me. And it seems very weird for me, but I think in a weird way, and I was telling Tyler about this, I've learned to not feel guilty about one, as Queen Jordan says, a shout out to Jordan Simone on TikTok, being able to take your backpack off as an activist. You know what I'm saying? And it's very different for us being, ADOS, being African American descendants of slavery, to be like, you know what? I just don't feel like dealing with what it means to be Black. You know what I'm saying? Or at least some of these events that are happening. I don't know if any of you guys can relate to that, Tyler, because they just jumped in. Oh, I'm gonna have either one of them go first. So ladies, queens, what y'all got for me? What you got for me?
Jess, you can go first then.
Don't make me pick.
Okay. For me, yeah, I've really struggled with acknowledging that I can take my activism backpack off, and take a break and just be, because I feel like, and this is just since I've gotten on TikTok, I feel like if I take a break, somebody's going to try questioning who I am. Which I find it weird because people won't do anything but just sit there and talk, and they don't get questioned. Their Blackness doesn't get questions. Why? Just because they have darker skin than me. So I have to remind myself that it doesn't matter what anybody thinks I am, just because I'm light or I have a white mom or anything like that. I need to worry about myself. And as I've said before on here, I am a mother first and a Black woman second. So I need to make sure that I take care of me, because if I don't take care of me, I can't take care of my kids properly. So that's just my experience with it.
And what about you, V? What you got for me? What you got for me?
I honestly didn't experience not having my Blackness until I got on TikTok. And I know how I look, but I also know where I grew up, and my Blackness is not questioned here because they know what Creole is. I got questioned more when I got to TikTok, and also when I was in the military, and people would talk to me on the phone, and I do sound a certain way.
You know what? You mentioned that earlier. I didn't say it to you earlier, but thank you for your services. I don't know what branch you are, but once again,
Air
thank
Force,
you for your
or
services.
The Air
and
Force,
everything.
as the Army likes to call me.
Continue, my sister.
But I, like I said, people didn't question who I was growing up here. Where I am, half of these folks is my family, the other half is my stepdad's family. So it's like, they all know who I am. I'm the lightest, brightest, whitest one in the family, but I am still Black. When I got on TikTok and when I was in the military, more so on TikTok, because military, once I told them who I was and explained it, it was like, oh, okay, I can see that. I can hear it in you. I know you're not putting on a facade. But TikTok, for some reason, with my accent alone, they're like, oh, you're just trying to be Black. I can't try to be something that I already am, number one. And number two, how am I trying to be something that is technically just a color? Because my race is Creole, period. But I look at it more now, and I think I've said this to y'all before. People's opinions of me is none of my damn business. Now, when you share it with me, and
girl, you better say that. Girl, hold on real quick. Man, don't make me. I don't want to kick my shoes off because I feel kind of pretty today, so I ain't gonna do it. But there's somebody that's wiping the crust out their eyes and they picking a wedgie in the back of the church. If you could say that like one more again for beloved in the back, I'd really appreciate it if you could say that one more time. What about opinions? One more time.
Other people's opinions of me is none of my damn business. And if you give me your opinion because I asked for it and my feelings get hurt, that's my problem, not yours. So that's something that internally I'm going to have to fix with me, because it has to be something that I also thought of myself for it to affect me in that way. But most of the time, I don't let nothing like that affect me. I'm 34 years old. I've heard all types of jokes from my family members, let alone people on TikTok. So what they tell me don't mean nothing to me. Now, if it's the same person saying it over and over again, I give them the attention that they are seeking most of the time, but 95% of the time, I keep to my own Black business, and I defend those that need defending. Other than that, I don't really go into all that other stuff, because outside of TikTok, I am active in my community, and that's all that matters to me, because you cannot be just active on social media and not take it to the streets.
And I think like that's the thing that I have to, and I talk about this because like I'm very transparent about myself. So like me, I've had a season. I don't like to say struggle. I've had a season of addiction in my life. But the thing about those that have had a season of addiction, you don't really get rid of addiction. You just kind of switch up what you're addicted to. So sometimes like I equate activism strictly to what I'm doing in the street, what I'm reading, what petitions I'm signing, what's happening in the world. And sometimes it just means what we're doing. Like, I talk about this type of stuff with y'all offline and online. You know what I'm saying? And that's just as important, edifying and encouraging. Like in my downtime, and this isn't to big me up because I don't like my flowers. Please leave me alone. I got flowers on my shirt, so I don't need any flowers, Black women. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? I wore this purposely so y'all leave me the hell alone. I've encouraged and edified, people like Queen Jess to build the confidence to speak up, speak to her Blackness and speak to what's happening in the world, and be, not so much that I've created her by any means, because I'm not God, and that's weird because she's older than me, and that'd be really weird trying to explain that to just anybody. But if I can encourage somebody to do anything, when it comes to like this fight for liberation, I'm doing a good job, and it don't gotta look like what I'm doing. Cause I'm gonna keep it real with you. I would say the same thing. I say the same things Jess says. Mine's just PG-13, and like, but she says the same things I say essentially. I mean, now depending on where she tells you to go after she tell you about yourself, I mean, that has everything to do with who you love and who you don't. That's besides the point. But yeah, and then we got somebody else that hopped up in here. Black Girl Warrior signed up for the Patreon. How you doing, Queen? I appreciate you signing up for the Patreon. How you doing today, sis?
I am actually better.
Better? All right. Did you poop?
I'm good. Yeah.
Did you poop?
I'm cool.
So you pooped. Everybody pooped today?
What?
I just want to make sure everybody pooped today. Did everybody poop? It's time to check in. Everybody pooped today? I pooped. I pooped 5 times. I've been drinking unsweetened iced, not even iced tea. I am
so sick of you.
What? Everybody needs to poop. A healthy poop. Look, man, just go in the bathroom. Just go in the bathroom, throw on some Solange, don't touch my hair, and then repaint the toilet. Just do it. You feel so much lighter. I'm telling you, you might pass a drug test tomorrow.
The tea or the poop.
That will never happen. That's what
Don't talk about the poop. Don't talk about the tea.
This is my podcast. We'll talk about all the poop I want to talk about, and we'll talk about all the unsweetened tea I want to talk about. And now that I got you smiling on here, black woman, black queen, carrier of the Eve gene. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Black Girl Warrior.
I am someone who stands up for, you guessed it, the Black people of the community and the people of color of the community, I should say. Now, at first, I was worried because look at me. And if you say what I feel like you're going to say,
peanut butter.
peanut butter, peanut butter jelly time.
Jess.
I can't. Continue, black woman.
Anyway, I'm also a woman with epilepsy. So I have to do my things behind the scenes. Anyway, I came on here to support you, as I do when trying to give you your flowers, young man, black man. But also,
I'm tired of y'all calling me young. Like, I get I'm the youngest one on screen, but I'm really not that much younger than y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, your daddy just got off a little sooner than mine did. That's all it means. That's really all it means. Like,
sir, it's a habit.
That's really all it means. Like, some of y'all daddies was just sowing seeds in somebody's kingdom. That's all it means. That's really all it means. It ain't about the make and model of the car. It's about the mileage and the makeup of the car. Hear me? I'm about to preach a sermon on Tuesday night. Anyway, I'm sorry. I completely interrupted you.
I
continue.
also came here to agree that our blackness is definitely not for anybody to it's not for anybody to negate. It's not for anybody to sit here and police. It's not for anybody to tell what to do with. Also, I just also wanted to say, Tyler, I love you, right? Black man, I love you. But I just want to know. I love you. Where the glasses came from, bro? Because I love them, but where the glasses came from?
You said my glasses?
Yeah, where the glasses came from?
Where did I get these? I got these from the mall.
Oh, I thought you was about to ask him why he out here looking like a light-skinned Chicken Little. I didn't know what you was about to ask him. Like, I just didn't know where we were going with that conversation. Hey, he's my brother. I will say this to him offline the same way I'll say it to him
Casper,
online. This is the Kid
cannot
Casper
do that.
Podcast.
You cannot.
Yes,
do
I can.
that.
Yes, I
No.
can. Yes, I
No,
can.
you
You know
do that-
why? Because he know I love him. I only
You do
crack
that
on people I
offline.
like.
You don't-
You know when I don't like you, I don't say to you. Not a thing. Not a ting. You hear me?
That
Casper.
is true. I can vouch for that.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
agree.
Like,
I mean,
you know,
I
only talk.
expected.
Trying to give him the benefit
Hey,
of the doubt.
I expected the rooster or the chicken jokes to come, so he's the first one. So I'll take it.
How
Alright.
did you keep the curl? How did you keep the curl?
I just
though?
put conditioner and gel in it, and then I just do that, and then it does that. Yeah.
That is your
Your hair
curl
look
is
like
better than
chicken
mine.
ramen noodles.
I am
And see,
done.
I was thinking a whole cockatoo
I'm done.
because he had
Anyway,
the yellow hair and the
So
pink
I'm
eyes.
gonna trim all of that.
Hold on, just real quick. Congratulations, Tyler. I
Yes.
heard
On
the
what?
good news.
Huh? Oh yeah,
Congrats.
you got your
That is
license.
absolutely.
Oh,
correct.
yeah.
Congratulations. You got it before me.
Congrats.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Good stuff.
I'm jealous.
Good stuff.
I'm
Good
jealous, but I'm very
Appreciate
happy.
We'll talk. We'll talk about our means to celebrate afterwards. For sure,
Okay.
for sure. So to kind
I
of
do have one thing I wanted to yell about,
what's up?
but I'm not going to yell about the whole Black culture being grouped in with the ghetto and rap and hip hop.
I mean, I ain't agree
I
with
wanna
that at
know-
all. You see how I'm dressed.
I want to know how is it that where did we stand and say that you have to be ghetto to have Black culture being grouped in with rap and hip hop?
The
How is
white
that our
man
culture?
said it. The white man said it.
And since when being from the ghetto making you ghetto?
Bro, I'm from Kansas. I have my ghetto moments.
I think she's talking about somebody that was in the comments.
Huh?
Calling.
Did I miss something?
I think you did. Calling
I think I
rap
saw that.
and hip hop problematic.
That
And
was,
then
Oh, no.
claiming that they were ghetto.
Okay.
Then
So that
turn around
was,
and
I
call
think that was
Yin Yang
James.
Twins.
yeah,
I
that
think
was
James.
It was.
That was James. He said hood and rap culture is being portrayed as Black culture, which is problematic. And because I know James, he's basically saying secluding and excluding the Black experience to strictly the hood and hip hop is problematic because there is so much more to the Black experience. He wasn't saying that's all that is the Black culture because, like, as we know, like, have you met V? Like, I'm just saying, V is like a New Orleans version of like Snooki. You know what I'm saying? Like,
damn. Not
Oh my
Snooki.
God.
Look,
I at least got like
Casper.
the one that made money.
who was that though?
That was the big titty one.
oh my God. Anyway,
I
so
don't
like,
know.
let's just steer this back. Let's steer this back.
I don't
On
remember her
subject,
name. I just know
sweet.
she had the big fake
You
titties.
talking about J-Well?
Oh,
That-
sweet baby Jesus. All right, let me let me steer this back on track. So when we're talking about this, as far as like what it means to protect your Blackness from yourself, I don't think people really realize that how important that is, and you really need to know. And I think this is a way of like, as far as like emotional intelligence and like being self-aware in a lot of ways, is knowing not only your love language, but know what exposing yourself to hurts you, hates you, and troubles you. So for me, y'all know I got a social media manager. Half the stuff I tweet on Twitter, it's because I sent to my social media manager, hey, put this on Twitter. I don't want to see what's on the feed. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather not see it because I haven't done the news in a while. I don't know what's going on in the world. And it sounds terrible to say this. I have to be selfish right now because I know my mental health is so fragile, and I don't want to compromise my mental and emotional health trying to be everybody's Superman, and then nobody's around to be, or I end up putting myself in a predicament where Superman won't be able to save me fast enough, whether that's my therapist. Not saying God's not fast enough by any means, because God can do anything. But I don't want to, I want to exercise wisdom as far as, you know, knowing when to just take my book bag off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can be an activist in different ways. It sounds weird, like when I've explained to people, I just have to be selfish and not care about what's happening around the world as much right now. Your guys' thoughts about that? How can that be received? I don't know. I mean, for those that kind of know what I'm going through, in a sense, like, lay it on me. Like, I'd like to hear some thoughts on this.
I don't think it's selfish at all, honestly. I think when you, as a Black man in this society, if you don't take the time to heal your mental health and keep your mental health in a good standing, then you're not going to be able to do anything for your community, period. So if you can't take care of you, how are you going to take care of somebody else? Same thing with, if you can't love yourself, how are you going to love somebody else? So take your time and fix what you need to fix within yourself, and then go back and fix the community, because you can't fix something while you're broken.
Yeah, it's I guess for me, it's you know what? I'll just allow y'all to keep going in, and I'll give my final, I guess, like, response once everybody kind of gives their feedback on this. But go ahead.
So to kind of piggyback off of what V said, well, first of all, I don't like to refer to anybody as broken, just rewired. And when you go through trauma, and being Black in America is traumatic, I don't give a damn who you are. You can go ahead and be a coon and pretend that it's not, but it is. I think I've noticed basically the people who will try and call someone selfish for taking care of themselves are the people who are sitting at home on the couch, not doing a damn thing themselves for their community. Or will sit there and try to blame other people for the issues that we have here in our community. So with that being said, it kind of goes back to V's original point, whereas someone else's opinion of you is none of your business, because at the end of the day, they don't matter like that. You know what I'm saying? Their opinion of you doesn't reflect who you are, especially if they're holding hate in their heart.
Gotcha. What you got from Black Girl Warrior?
I personally believe that, listen, what Jess said is pretty much close to where I'm going with this. As a Black person in America, listen, it's already hard enough being Black. It's already hard enough having other problems in your life. So if you feel like you can't take on anything else, then the best thing to do is have some you time. Collect your thoughts, get yourself together, worry about you, and make sure you are straight before you take on anything else. It's okay to be in your bubble. Listen, I do it all the time. Okay? I'll be like, yeah, oh, somebody did what? Yeah, I'll wait till I feel ready to handle that. So sometimes that's what you have to do. I've been to that space where I was the person taking care of everybody else or trying to help everybody else. And one thing that I've learned is my condition got worse before I realized, girl, you need to take care of you. You need to take a couple steps back and relax. So here we are. And that's what you need to do. And that's it.
And King Ty, what you got for me, dog?
Yep, I definitely agree with everyone. Yeah, bro. It's like I kind of tell you on occasion over the phone or if we're talking. I say if you're not in a good mental space, you're not really going to be good for anybody else. And that's, like I said, the word selfish has been demonized so much, but being selfish sometimes is not a bad thing. I tell people, like, sometimes you have to be selfish. Sometimes you have to think about yourself before you think about others. I think a lot of times, if you're anybody like me, we think about people so much and we want to help people so much that sometimes it's actually detrimental for us. So, I love to help people out, but if it's going to interfere with my responsibilities and what I need to take care of, I kind of got to be like, no, I can't help you right now. I'm sorry, like, and that's just because you have to come first. Your responsibilities have to come first. And then after that, you can take, help someone else out. So yeah, it's definitely not a bad thing to take a step back and say, you know what, me as a Black person in America, I have to take time to recharge. I have to take time to rest. I have to take time to step away from the chaos of everything and get back to a place where I can truly lead in the way I'm supposed to lead. So yeah, I mean, I tell people all the time, for us as believers, if God took a break, like, why can't we take a break? So, I think it's important to do that because, like you said, to be a Negro in this country and to be in a state of consciousness is to be in a state of rage all the time, which is true. So, but being angry all the time is not healthy. Being angry can lead to health issues. Being angry can lead to you treating someone wrongly when you didn't even mean it. You were just in a state of rage or in a state of being angry. You can accidentally say something to someone that you don't truly mean, and then you have to go and apologize, and that causes conflict. So yeah, get to a place of peace, get to a place of happiness as much as you can, and do whatever you have to do for you to get to a good place mentally to where you can get back on the front lines and continue to fight for Black people, for brown people, for indigenous people, for Asian people, for people that are just going through, the evilness of this world. Like, get back to a place where you can truly help people because, you look at any of the leaders that came before us, from Malcolm X to Martin Luther King to all of them, I'm sure they had to take breaks every now and again where they had to just chill. I know that Malcolm X was like, he used to go into hotels and rent a hotel room and just pray and meditate, or like Dr. Martin Luther King, I'm sure he had to do the same thing, get to himself, pray, get with the Lord and rest, and do that. I'm sure they all had to do that. So for us as leaders and people that want to fight for Black people, for brown people, for people that are being mistreated, it's important for us to do that. That way we can be effective on the front lines.
So I guess for me, this is it's a two-part, and this is why I say I don't feel bad about using the word selfish. Because I think it's necessary, because I believe being selfish really just means, and what I've learned, because they've tried to equate you being selfish to being toxic in some ways, and Jess knows what I'm talking about. So, and when I say, not saying Jess knows what I'm talking about by saying Jess is narcissistic by any means, not even close. But like, so for me, and I'm just gonna flat out say it, and I don't care if you're watching, and I don't care if this hurts your feelings, but this episode is titled "You Don't Own the Rights to This Blackness," which means you're not allowed to reap the benefits off of this blackness, and my blackness is kind of bringing me pain. And when I say my blackness is bringing me pain, like, bruh, look what I got on my skin. This in itself comes with, like I said, I've entered into a world in a war I didn't start just off of this alone. You know what I'm saying? Forget genealogy real quick. I'm just, not to say, and this isn't to say that like what V goes through by any means is different than anything. It's just simply the fact of, when I'm speaking for myself, just from this alone, this comes with opposition. Just from this. Forget like genealogy for a second, because the minute they figured that out, it's like, ooh, double jeopardy. And then my mouth, bro. I couldn't be no doggone slave back in the day, boy. Oh my God. Like they would have been like, so somebody just killed this dude. I'd be like, I wish you would. Shoot, I'm tired of this. The food here sucks. Tired of the fact that y'all keep giving me lumpy grits. Like, there's no reason that the grits should have less lumps than your feet. I don't understand what's going on. That's besides the point. I couldn't be no doggone slave. I'm letting y'all know right now. Like, Chicken George would have shot me in the neck. Anyway, but I say this to say, in my blackness comes to me setting boundaries. And my blackness means I need to love myself. And my blackness means I need to know my worth. And in my blackness, that means my blackness is not to be pimped, dog. Like, and I say that, and I mean this with all sincerity, and I want this to be checked. So let me, hi, how you doing? So I have not been hitting the streets, specifically with my coalition I'm on strike. I'm just going to say it just like that. I am on strike because, and I'm just going to say it just like this. So with being an activist and what people don't know about what it means to be an activist, especially for everybody that knows that's been following my platform, like last year I got doxxed essentially, right? I got doxxed and my life gets threatened all the time. Bro, people spit on me in public. At a gas station simply because of what I look like. Forget what comes out of my mouth and forget the bumper sticker on my car says leaders of the beautiful struggle. My ministry is dangerous. It just is. Bro, I'm on the news either all the time. My face is blown up over here. I'm quoted over here. The minute I do a protest, I got 4 different newspapers that are pulling on me. You know what I'm saying? Of course, the attention comes in the cause and the message I'm trying to capitulate gets spread to the masses. But that is also the problem with this ministry. People don't like your message. So it don't matter if they like the messenger. If they don't like what you got to say and you look like me, double jeopardy. You know what I'm saying? Bruh. And I'm just going to say it just like this because, and if you're watching right now, you failed. Sorry. But my tires have been slashed doing the work I do. Like I ended up in a ditch about a month or so ago. You know what I'm saying? Jess knows what I'm talking about. I had to get 4 new freaking tires. That added to the fact that I went into the hole in my pockets. You know what I'm saying? That went into the fact that, like, you know, I couldn't pay my bills on time. And thus with me not being able to pay my bills on time, my car note got behind because of this over here and then this over here and all these expenses that come with, you know, just from living, because, you know, adults have, you know, bills and stuff like that. But then some of these expenses come at the hands of my opposition. So, you know, I work alongside, and I don't even want to say it's mine because it's not mine, because it shows more that I'm to be pimped and not to be valued. I'm just going to say it just like that, and that hurts your feelings. I'm just speaking from my experience. It shows that I'm to be more pimped and used than it is to be valued and used and human in a sense. Unless I'm speaking what people want me to speak as far as like messaging goes, they don't really want to hear what I got to say. They don't want to hear that I got bills I got to pay. They don't want to hear that, you know, my Black experience is X, Y, and Z outside of just being Black in America from police brutality and people being mean to me because I'm brown skin. You know what I'm saying? And I decided to, you know, apply scripture and, you know, decided, you know what? I'm kind of worth my wages. You know, a worker is worth his wages. I think I should be compensated on the fact that I'm being threatened. My life is being threatened and literally attempts on my life are being taken for free. And I feel like I should at least be compensated. You know, the fact people are trying to freaking kill me. Not even the fact that people are trying to kill me, but can a nigga get paid? And I'm not trying to say paid like I want to like buy some stock, but nigga, like there's no reason in which any activist, I'm going to be real with you. And there's no reason that any activist, especially when you got these white institutions, white organizations, white corporations that love to say Black Lives Matter, act like it. Black lives matter more than Black lives need to matter with your checkbook too. You know what I'm saying? Black lives need to matter with your time and your effort, not just what you put a hashtag and what you get to put on a sign outside of your church or your synagogues or your mosque. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, somebody might want to vandalize your churches because you put BLM outside of your building. But baby, people want to vandalize my body because I got a skin size tattoo that says I'm a Negro in this country. Forget what I have to say. I am a Negro in this country. You know what I'm saying? I am one of the leaders of the beautiful struggle. The only difference is my struggle don't look like your struggle because it comes with a skin size tattoo that is like target practice for people. You know what I'm saying? And I'm tired, and I say this, and this is not to be ambitious and to be greedy by any means, but there's no reason in which I give my time, my life, literally my life, blood, sweat, tears to the streets, and these same streets are going to kill me. You know what I'm saying? These same streets are going to kill me, or these bills on the back of my neck are going to kill me. Not because I'm irresponsible and I can't function for myself, but the freaking fact that, like, bro, happens. Bro, 4 tires? I don't know about y'all. Tires ain't cheap, nigga. Like, anybody ever had to buy tires before? Oh, my God.
It was like $400 to replace on my Honda when I had one.
I'm mad you didn't call your insurance company because 4 tires that were slashed should be on your insurance. 3 is not, but 4 come from a crazy woman. Just take my word on it.
It would have been fine. If it would have been 3, it would have been fine. I'm serious. Jess knows what I'm talking about. If it's 3, it's cool. If it's 2, it's cool. 1, it's cool. 4, nah. It's hard to prove that. You know what I'm saying? Who's going to slash 4 tires? They don't need to. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, but there's that. It's just, like I said, it's just the expenses that happen with being an adult. And the fact that every time I go somewhere and it's like, you know, related to my activism, I'm masked up. Bro, when I go to parties, you don't see all of this is covered. You know what I'm saying? You don't even get to see my eyes, really. I'm real, like, bro, you don't get to see me in public. I'm like Michael Jackson in these pots. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be starting something, you got to be starting something. Don't play with me. Like, I know, I'm serious. Like, I know, like, what comes with, because I have that face. I just have that face. I have a very distinguished face. My mama says all the time. She said, nobody look like you. And I was like, that could either mean I'm really uniquely pretty or very uniquely ugly. I don't feel like getting into this right now. I got flowers on my shirt. Anyway, but yeah. So I brought this up with the people I work with in my coalition like 2 months ago. And crickets. And I say crickets because I get more excuses than effort. But anytime in which they need something from me, my black behind, you know what I'm saying? Expedited. Bro, I will get a call about an email I did not respond to. I will get a text about the call I didn't respond to, about the email I didn't respond to. And I gotta be like Amazon Prime with it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, no. I literally like I told, and my mom knows what I'm talking about. I literally told my mom, my blackness is not to be pimped. I will not be tokenized as somebody's Negro to be a hashtag, dying broken, don't have anything for myself. One of my homeboys was just killed like a couple weeks ago. Pardon my French, this shit is dangerous. This shit is dangerous. So pardon me if I don't want to be dignified and ask nicely to just have my freaking bills paid. I don't want you to cut me no check. I don't want you to buy me no house. Damn it. I just need my bills paid when shit happens and shit hits the fan. I got enough to deal with, especially if you want to plaster my blackness to reap the benefits off of my blackness. You do not own the rights to this blackness if I do not own the outcome of what comes with this blackness. That's not fair. You know what I'm saying? So I'm on strike. I'm not playing. When I say I'm not playing, don't call me, don't text me, don't even hit my managers up about this unless you got results. Because I'm not and when I say this, I mean this for real. Like, I have enough I have to deal with. And I'm not about to be threatened for free and be ignored by the very people that want to sit there and say they care about my black ass. Pardon my French. I'm saying I'm trying to be dignified. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be a happy black man.
You said ass.
I can't,
you didn't say anything.
I can't. But I can't sugarcoat it anymore. Like, bro, like, come on, man. Like, I mean, I will literally like give the hair off of my head for somebody. All I ask is, bro, like, I'm serious. I would literally do that for somebody. All I ask is make your words mean something. Don't tell me you hear from me and then and it's a wish list. No. Can you say this? Can you say this? Can you do this? Can you do that? Can you? As if I don't got enough to deal with. Damn it. Like I said, like, bro, like my homie just died like a couple weeks ago. My brother's dying from cancer. I got enough to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not trying to do this to like no pity parties. I hate pity, bro. I hate pity. For me, I don't even like compliments. Please don't give me pity. But don't dehumanize me to think that just because I'm this super talented black dude that I don't got feelings and I don't got bills and I don't got worries and concerns just like anybody else. That's all I feel like saying on this subject matter. So I don't, and it's not to say I don't care about my people either, because my people know that I care about them. Don't get it twisted. My people know that I care about them. And even people that don't look like me know I care about them. But a worker is worth his wages. You know what I'm saying? Do whatever you want with that. That's fine. Call me selfish. That's fine. Call me disrespectful and out of pocket. That's fine. But I am not your Negro. I am not going to be your token. I'm not going to be your figurehead. And to me propped up and martyrized and commercialized until the last minute, till I'm a hashtag, and then I'm completely forgotten about until the next person because because I wasn't taken care of, or I end up losing because this is causing literal like mental anguish for me. I shouldn't be freaking out this much. I have literally much more on my plate just from my blackness outside of my life to deal with.
Can I say something?
Yes. Go ahead.
Don't say you care about Black life if you don't care until I'm dead, basically.
That's just how I feel. It's like why, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, and I mean this. And I want everybody to hear this. I'm not gonna edit this out. I'm not even gonna edit out where I dropped a couple of bombs, because if that completely discounts my message, you weren't really listening or looking to listen to my heart anyway. But if you care about Black life, you need to care about sustaining that life. You need to care about equity. We don't just want equality. Like, bruh, everybody started off on third base. Like, come on, bruh. I'm not like an entitled piece of crap either. I'm not saying anybody is, but damn it. Come on, bruh. You can't want equality. Equality and equity are two different things. Don't do that. Don't do that, bruh. Like, don't do that. Please don't tell me to pull myself up by the bootstraps and you won't even help me get my damn boots. And then you kicking the boots from me and gatekeeping the boots from me. Don't do that, dog. Don't do that. That's it. I don't want to talk about this anymore. I don't. I just, bruh, I'm ready to poop tonight. Like, that's how I feel about all of this. My goodness. Anybody else have any thoughts? Yes, no?
I do. I
God.
just got. I think that all I'm gonna say is this: they don't care as long as the work's getting done and it's not them doing the work and they know who they are. Until like you said, we become another hashtag. However, you are not going to be that next hashtag. I said what I said.
But here's the thing, though. I might, though. And that's fine. And when I say that's fine, like, it might just happen. I mean, who knows? I can't predict what other people's actions are. That's fine. All I'm saying is, love me correctly while I am here. Honor me and love me correctly while I'm here. Don't gaslight me and prop me up and give me a list to fulfill like I'm freaking skinny Santa Claus. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about to breastfeed white people. I am sorry. I'm not about to breastfeed white people about black liberation to teach. I'm serious. I'm not about to breastfeed white people about black liberation and then they don't even listen. Like, no. I'm tired. Stop waiting until I'm done talking to talk to me. No. That's it. That's it.
Keep
Please
yourself
talk
on
about
strike
something else.
then. Stay on strike and take care of your mental health. Keep yourself busy.
And sign up for my Patreon, damn it. I know that was random, but like, I know you did, but like, what you got to say, V? You got that face.
I just want to talk to those that look like me real quick. So my brother is letting y'all know exactly how he feels. And you might not take it in the right way because of the color of his skin. So I'm going to reiterate it to you because I have this color skin. You cannot, as a person who calls themselves an ally or an accomplice, turn around and use anyone's blackness against them. That triggers me the most. And I see it a lot, especially within my immediate family. Like I said, I am the lightest one. My nephews and my nieces are extremely dark. And we can be in the same setting saying the same thing. And someone's going to take it from me a lot different than they're going to take it from him. Don't look. I know I say it all the time. We're supposed to look at skin color. But when it comes to a message, color shouldn't matter. The message matters. And if you're going to sit there and try to use somebody for what they have, whether it be their skin tone, their background, their money, use them the right way. Give them what they're worth, because you're taking advantage of a system that's not even for you. And that's all I want to say.
And that's about it. You know what I'm saying? And I calmed down. You know what I'm saying? I got a little heated, but like I've been, bro, like I said, I know what's going on. And it's bro, when you didn't know, and this is not to dog anybody, and I'm very transparent. Yo, realizing your car is not there anymore, and that's like close to the only thing you have outside of your dog. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, I'm single and I'm ashy all the time, but I need y'all to really hear me. Like that's really all I got, you know? And I would like to avoid like these things happening. But the expectation, and I'll get a part-time job. I'll do that. Like this will be a part of my strike. I'll do what I need to do. God will provide however he provides, whether I get a 9 to 5, a 10 to 5, a 5 to 5, whatever it is. But you don't own the rights to this blackness anymore. Like you didn't before, but you damn sure don't own it now. Like, no, nah, bruh. Like I got way too much else to deal with. That's it. I'm really not that prideful. Please sign up for the Patreon though. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, get you some drip. You know what I'm saying? Learn how to like get right with God and get you some ghost threads. That's completely besides the point. But yeah, dog, like that's basically it, yo. I got, and this literally has like little to nothing to do with like what blackness is or like how black people have treated me. I just need people to realize, because there's people that probably are going through the same thing, if not in my city, in other cities, where somebody is reaping the benefits off their blackness, off of somebody else's blackness, but they're not reaping the disadvantages off of their blackness. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to take the long way home when you drive home from a protest. Probably not. You don't have to, you're not scared of listening to music in dark rooms with your headphones on. You know what I'm saying? All that. Just, treat equity. That's all I gotta say. You can't fight for equality if you ain't willing to fight for equity at the same time. That's it. That's it. Anything else y'all queens want to say? Where did Tyler go? Is Tyler pooping? Tyler's pooping.
Sign up for the Patreon, but do more than the $2, please. Thank you.
I mean, every little bit helps. But yeah, bro, like that's just it. Like, and I'm not, and the Lord will provide either way. But bro, don't. I'm not your Negro. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I've been through that before. I'm not going through that again, dog. No, it's really dehumanizing, really, at the end of the day, to like be the strong black man in public spaces, but nobody's being strong for the black man in private spaces. I hate that shit. Pardon my French. I hate that shit.
You have a whole group of black women who are always sitting there being strong for you. So I don't want to hear that. We are always here for you, Casper, and you know that.
Well, I hear that. I'm just saying. I'm just saying for like.
Joggers, okay. I'm gonna buy them.
No, I'm not. This isn't me guilting you. I'm just saying. I'm not guilting you. I'm simply saying, like, if you're gonna love what I do publicly, you gotta love me the right way privately, because that's what matters the most. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just who I am, even on camera. Like, y'all get a 3-hour version of me. Sometimes you get me 3 times a week, and this is one version of me. You get the lights and everything like that. But like, you know what I'm saying? There's way more to like who I am besides these lights and these cameras and everything like that. Like, who I am, my existence, when I say like my blackness, my experience, who I am as a man, as a human being, as a brother, an uncle, a best friend, a distant uncle, because I got nieces and nephews all over the internet, and like, people that I mentor all over the world that I do offline and stuff like that. There's so much more to me than you guys ever really know. So please don't just love me because of what I do for you, because I don't just love people for what they can do for me. Okay? I'm saying, like, love, like, as a black man, love me properly. I'm trying to teach you how to do that. But please, if I flunk you out of class, it's not going to be my fault. It's going to be yours. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. That's it. I am not your Negro, and you do not own the rights to this blackness. I'm gonna keep saying that. And I do got one thing I'm gonna bring up, but I'm definitely gonna need the queens to chime in on this, because somebody just brought this up to my focus wisdom in talking about blackness, and y'all gonna handle this. So I haven't done a friendly neighborhood Negro news in a minute. But I think this is really, really important in regards of like what we're talking about when we're talking about policing blackness. And I'd rather just my sisters talk about this, because I feel uncomfortable talking about this. So when we're talking about policing blackness, more specifically, okay, all right, how do I say this nicely without like completely like pissing off everybody on the internet? But even though that's never really mattered to me, so that's besides the point. And I'll edit this for in a extended clip afterwards, so it will be what it will be. So apparently, and I don't know why somebody felt the need to tell me this, but everybody heard about that white woman that decided to break dance on the floor in this, like, I think it was the Victoria's Secret or something along the breathe, black women. Let me mute on.
I
Let me
think
mute
all
y'all.
three of us had
breathe, black women. So, all right. So apparently, breathe, black women, and y'all go first. I might have to actually go poop after somebody just sent me this. So apparently, I don't even know what this white woman's name is, but apparently, she is facing a lot of backlash for her little stunt, in Victoria's Secret, because of how she is being demonized for how she was reacting to a situation. Hey, I'm just telling you what it's saying. She's reacting off of feeling like she's being threatened, mocked, belittled, you know what I'm saying? And there's a petition going on that says that we should not be allowed to demonize white women when they are just being human in a moment, demonized to the point that they are being called racist when it was just an error in opinion. And the same goes for apparently Yo, who plays Mose on Ned's Declassified. She's fighting the fact that people did not correct her correctly about her opinion or supposed microaggression when she was, being freaking racist about a black TikTok trend during this time. So basically, guys, why can't we, just be nice? Like, they're human. They make mistakes. And I'm just going to let y'all
just a real quick question. When Breonna Taylor was murdered, did y'all say, "Oh my God, she was human"? When y'all looked up her criminal record, when y'all sat there and said, "Oh, she was with a drug dealer"? No, you justified the police killing her, murdering her, and then y'all justified the fact that the grand jury decided to indict them with wanton endangerment. They were more worried about putting bullet holes in the motherfucking wall than they were worried about taking a human life. But y'all are saying that it's not okay for us to demonize a white woman who literally, a grown ass woman who got on the floor of a Victoria's Secret and started to do the Harlem Shake just because she got caught up being racist. How? I gotta remember this is not my podcast, so I can't say what I want to say next. I'm
gonna go pull the chicken out.
Where do you draw the line? Where, for Black women, does it become human error? And where, for white women, does it become blatant racism and lack of accountability? Which part? Because y'all can't have a cake and eat it too. If you don't want us to hold white women accountable, please don't talk shit about us when we get murdered by the police. Please don't. Don't look up our criminal record. Don't say that we were with a drug dealer. Don't say. So I guess to surmise my point, shut all the way the fuck up, because y'all are not innocent. Y'all aren't. Y'all may not have been wearing the hoods, but y'all were sewing the robes. That's all I'm going to say on that.
Okay, so these are my cat ears because I am feeling petty. Let me explain something to you. Not only was this Victoria's Secret Cameron doing the Harlem Shake, someone decided to create a trend behind it on the Clock app. And to do this and then jump up and try to attack a black woman, in which case they called the police on said woman doing the Harlem Shake, which actually perpetuates a fucking seizure. I'm sorry, excuse my French. And me being an epileptic black woman, seeing this, and then seeing her jump up trying to attack the woman recording her, but claiming, white woman tears, just like this Lindsay heifer from Ned's Declassified, whatever. I never even watched the show in my younger years. I don't care. I'm just
no cap. That was my ish, but I'm no cap. That used to be my show, but now I feel a little betrayed, to be honest. But that's besides the point.
The truth of the matter is, I don't care for either one of their white women tears, because at the end of the day, the cops did nothing but demonize the black woman. Everybody in that Victoria's Secret store did not do anything but demonize the black woman who called for help. They made it seem like, oh, why don't you just put the phone away? What? But I digress. White women have been demonizing their tears, knowing what would happen. Central Park Karen did the same exact thing. Lindsay knew exactly what she was doing when she made that video the first time, making fun of those young black men, and made that video with her white woman tears because she was getting threatened, as she honestly probably was not, or probably honestly rightfully so. Honestly, I don't care about any of these white women getting their white women tears put in a bottle. Because you know why? White women tears got Emmett Till unalived. Okay? White women tears almost got a man murdered in Central Park. White women tears almost got this black woman arrested in jail. In Victoria's Secret. White women tears are the reason why so many black men and women have been murdered or put in jail for no reason by the police. White women tears are the reason why so many black men and women have been canceled. Okay, so honestly, Lindsay can go down low, and Victoria's Secret Karen, I don't want to say on this live where she can go and what she can get done to her, because she done became a whole trend. No one takes anybody seriously when it comes to these white women and their tears, and that petition can go to garbage. Honestly, that petition will never be signed by me or any black woman in this country, unless there are Candace Owens, and we know where Candace Owens is going. But yeah. Anybody want some white woman tears? Anybody? No? Okay. But I'm finished.
I know I'm supposed to be next, but it still gets to me so much. And I'm going to apologize to you now, Casper, because I might not be able to hold what I want to say in. My mouth just goes on its own. But I'm gonna start off by saying this.
Just remember, you love me. You love me more than you love me more than you hate them.
I do. I'm gonna say it like this. I did not grow up with a white parent in my life, so I don't know how white parents teach their children. But I know what my mama taught me, and it should be pretty clear across the board. You treat people how you want to be treated. And if you come at me with your white tears and your fake accusations and your bullshit, pardon my language, I'm not going to be like the black woman in Victoria's Secrets, because I'm going to be the one that's in jail. Period. If you come at a black woman or a black man in front of me, I'm going to be the woman in jail. Period. I don't understand how these people feel so, obligated to receive, entitled to receive pity or mercy for what they did. You knew what was going to happen especially for the woman in Victoria's Secrets, because as soon as she did it and realized that camera was on her, her demeanor changed completely. Completely. It went from let me fuck this girl up to, oh shit, I'm being recorded. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to curse again. I apologize. Mute that later on. But yeah, it went from I'm gonna beat you and I'm gonna tell you this to your face, and then oh wait, there's a camera. Let me go ahead and put on an act for the people that she's gonna show this video to. And when it came to Ned Declassified Girl, I don't look. That whole situation had me mad because yes, I did watch the show, and Cookie been a coon since he was on the show, and had he stayed out of it, I probably wouldn't have much to say. But all three of y'all decided to come and defend her actions. All three of y'all need to go on and jump off a cliff together because you're stupid. Just jump off. You cannot expect somebody to respect you and give you what you feel like you are worth if you're not doing the same for them. It's plain and simple. I don't care what color you are. You're going to respect me, and I'm going to respect you until you get disrespectful with me. And then, like I said, I'm probably going to jail because I don't do that all that talking. I'm not very good with my words. I am very good with my hands. And my military background probably made it worse because when I joined to fight for everybody in this country. Black, white, indifferent, male, female, non-binary. I don't care who you are. I signed up and I rose my hand and I gave my life and committed who I was to this country, which is a piece of shit country, by the way, to protect you so you could have your rights. But you don't want to give the next person their rights because you feel that your skin tone, and I say skin tone because of the Eve gene, we all come from the same thing, baby. It's just different tones. Because your skin tone is lighter, you better? All right, be better with me then. Come on. That's why I stay to myself on TikTok. That's why I mind my own black business. Because if I get on there and somebody say the wrong thing, I'm gonna get banned again.
You got banned, baby?
Oh, several times. All my videos have been deleted at one point.
What did you do?
Posted about George Floyd.
You seem so nice.
I am not nice. I'm nice to you.
I think you're nice.
You.
B is more like
I think
me
you're a
than
nice
she
person.
Like you, Casper.
I am a nice person. I am a Christian woman. But I am crazy as hell.
I don't like that word. Oh my God.
And I mean it in the most respectful way. I will put my life on the line for anybody at any time if they're being treated in a wrong way. And I mean that. I don't care who it is. I will take a bullet for you. I was taught to do so, and I'm going to do it to the day I die. But I'm not going to allow you in that same regard to expect me to give you the respect when you didn't do it to this person and you're treating them like crap. And now you're upset because I called you on your crap. So now you want my pity as well? No, go somewhere with that. That cliff right over there. Jump off. There you go.
Oh Lord. So I think like the thing that that doesn't get talked about when we're talking about like blackness in itself is like our blackness can be like so polarizing just by a shift of a posture. And when I say a shift of a posture, like bruh, and I literally mean like if I even sit up, I'm actually not even trying to be funny. I'm worried standing up straight around people. Like I'm that nervous. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm tall. I'm 6'3". It don't matter. I got a bird chest, and if you punch me in my chest, my shoulders touch, and you hear gongs go off. You understand me? I am 6'3". And blackety black. You know what I'm saying? I like her too, James. She all right. You know what I'm saying? V is cool peoples. But and I say this because like that's why, like, I tell people, like, they need to understand, like, when we talk about, like, we need to, like, we're focusing our energy on, like, the dumbest things, in my opinion, as far as, like, a community sometimes. It's like, because, like, we're sitting here trying to tell somebody what to do with their blackness while we're being killed by other people's whiteness. You know what I'm saying? Like, their whiteness threatens our blackness. And the only difference is their whiteness doesn't keep them alive. It keeps them, what's the word? It keeps them, I guess, exalted. That's a way to call it. It keeps them exalted. For us, literally, for some people, our blackness is literally our lifeline in a sense. It's how we love ourselves. It's how we feed our community. It's how we feed, and I mean not just food, but I mean like soul food, emotional intelligence. What does Maya call it? Relational equity. Like, it bleeds into all these things, and it just blows my mind. Where I'm just like, bro, these people don't care about genealogy. With these white women don't care about genealogy, and we need to stop calling it white fragility, because that's a sense of aggression. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, they tried to play the I'm about to be slaughtered on the ground type mindset, and whoever is triggering these tears is putting me in danger. That is a sense of aggression. It's no different than an animal that cries wolf. I'm just gonna say it just like that. You know what I'm saying? And it blows my mind, because not only is it, we talk about this all the time, is a white woman allowed to get belligerent and she's just being tapped into her emotions or probably has a mental illness, but black women are invalidated about everything. And I literally mean everything. And I brought this up earlier, but, like, you know, once again, black women already got to deal with being black, being a woman, and then being the woman in their community. That's three. Like, they already, like, damn, and it sounds terrible to say like this, and y'all can check me if you find this disrespectful. Y'all damn near already got 3 strikes. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's out of pocket for saying that, but y'all on 3, y'all got 3 strikes already. Like, it's that real for y'all. You know what I'm saying?
For me, I can't even talk. I have to water myself down. And this is me being light. I mean, I'm damn near light bright over here. But me just setting boundaries and taking a stance. I get called aggressive all the time. Whereas someone that's more palatable than I am, well, they're just being assertive. We live in a world of double standards. So I agree with you when you say that it's basically like we got 3 strikes, because damned if we do, damned if we don't. We have not only do we have to face it from white people and other races, but we also have to face it from our own community. You know, we have respectability politics. We're supposed to be, if black women are sitting there and holding everything down, you know, they got the house taken care of, they got the kids taken care of, you know, they got a job, everything like that, we're considered masculine. If black women don't take no shit, we're considered masculine or aggressive. But nobody looks at why we are the way that we are. And it goes back to the days of slavery. Black women hold everything down now because that's what we had to do on the plantation.
Would you say that black women have to tap into a different sense of blackness than like black men do?
I would say that black women are held to a different standard of blackness.
Just humanity in general, but I'm saying, like, do you think like there's like a threshold of blackness that like black women have to tap into that black men have the privilege of not even having to deal with? Is what I'm saying.
I would because y'all don't have to think about the things that we have to worry about. You know, we have to worry about our kids, we have to worry about, you know, our lives, and then we got to worry about y'all. Whereas it's shown that nobody worries about us. We have to be strong constantly. We can't show any sign of weakness. And that's even with our own community where we should feel safe. That's even with our black men where we should feel safe. So yeah, I would definitely say that we have to tap into a different kind of blackness.
V, you had something?
Yeah, I can only speak for myself and
that's fine, sister. Go ahead.
And like in my experience, and it's kind of piggybacking off what Jess says when she said somebody more palatable than her. Me and Jess can curse the same person out in the exact same way. And she's going to be an angry black woman. They're going to look at me and tell me I'm trying to be a black woman. Do you see what I'm saying? That part right there not only negates who I am as a person and my culture, but it belittles her as well. Just from what you said to me, that I am trying to be or trying to act like a black woman.
Because what it does is what you're basically saying, and I'm breaking this down so people can understand. It's absolving you of who you are. While absolving you, it's amplifying it in jest and demonizing her for it. So It's dehumanizing to you because it's stripping you of your genetic makeup, and it's dehumanizing to her because it's demonizing her simply because of her genetic makeup, and then the way she chooses to carry herself or how she chooses to respond to people.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And a lot of people, like when I will look at my family and my mom like my mom, period, they'll look at her and they'll automatically think that she's Hispanic because she, like Jess, is a light-skinned black woman. She's not mixed. And to us, she's not mixed. But if people were to ask her, you know, what she is, she was going to say black. She's not going to say Creole. I'm the only one in my family that says Creole. Everybody else says black. And the reason I say Creole is because I know how I look. I know how it's taken. I have to watch what I say and who I say it to, especially about who I am, because it changes how they perceive people of color.
Hey, what you got for me?
Well, to piggyback off of both, y'all already know I'm not white passing. I'm, as we've already discussed, I'm not super light skinned. But honestly, my father is literally the same skin color as V, but people will really sit here and think that, you know, they will still try to negate the blackness of, they will still try to negate my blackness, assume I will, not assume that, not thinking I'm black, but assume I'm everything but, just because I can't possibly be black, even though we've already discussed I'm peanut butter. But also when it comes down to the palatable shade, I could still go to jail depending on who I cuss out. And also when it comes down to the part where having it hard as a black woman in America and having all these strikes against us, let me tell you something. The reason why black women will have it harder than a black man is because of so many different things that, Casper, did you get taught about the Willie Lynch letter?
You're
okay.
Unfortunately.
So you know exactly what, the Willie Lynch letter entails, right? So with that being said, it's protect the Black man, protect your Black son. And when it comes to your Black daughter, it's like raise your Black daughter to be independent and instill that fear of what could possibly happen to your Black son, your Black man. We are basically born and raised to make sure everybody else is taken care of except for ourselves at the last minute. Like, we literally are born and raised to protect everyone else but ourselves because of that fear, that generational fear that is instilled in us from birth or from childhood, you can even say. So, I get, I understand where Jess is coming from because, I know about the Willie Lynch letter. And it's just, yes, I do agree with Jess when it comes down to a lot of those things. I agree with V on the part where if she was to cut somebody out, they would definitely be like, she's trying to be Black. And, she is the more palatable Black person, the more palatable Black woman. But the truth of the matter is, yes, we do have it harder because of all the extra work we have to put in, especially when it comes down to, even though I don't have kids, I know it's going to come down to that point. I am going to instantly feel that part. I already feel with my nephew. I know y'all see me, argue with a 6-year-old little boy back and forth, but yes, I fear for him every day of my life. However, it is most definitely hard to be a Black woman in America. And we do have several strikes against us. I might have an extra strike. Like, some of us have extra strikes because we're not to, never mind everything else. We also heavy on the, opinions, and not to mention some of us have disabilities. So it's just like, crap. We have a lot of strikes against us, especially with this hospital system not giving a crap about us. If they knew V was Black and she went into that hospital, do you think they would give her the same treatment if she were a white woman? If they thought she were a white woman?
Nah, because especially like if she was pregnant, they would try to prolong inducing labor than they would for like you and Jess. Oh, what you got, V?
I have an example of that. I have a prime example of that. You three both all know that I suffer from military sexual trauma. I don't think I have disclosed this about it yet, but the person that did that to me, I ended up getting pregnant for. I was keeping my son because it was not his fault what happened to me, or who his father was, is, whatever. At 26 weeks, my water broke. And I was in the military. They knew they knew my background because I've said it, but the hospital did not know, looking at me, that I was a Black woman. I was in that hospital for a week with my legs in the air so they could try to save my son. My sister, who reminds me a lot of Jess in her physical appearance, had an entire hysterectomy from the exact same incident. And that's because they could look at her and see the phenotype that she was Black.
And I've talked about this before. I was having my second child, and the nurses and doctor didn't believe me when I said that the operating room was too cold. I had a C-section. So my core body temperature ended up dropping to a dangerous point to where I was on a heating blanket for I don't know how many days. Because because I don't remember them. When I woke up, I had bronchitis. I have chronic bronchitis. It's in my medical chart that I have it. Because I'm a smoker. So I asked the nurse, I said, I need antibiotics. I have bronchitis. She's hearing me hack up along every time she comes in. She says, well, the best we can do for you is give you a nicotine patch. Look, if I wanted to go have a cigarette, I would put my ass in a wheelchair and I go have a cigarette, right? I have bronchitis. I'm hacking up a lung here. And so, long story short, I get released from the hospital. The doctor, no matter which doctor, which nurse I spoke to, it was ignored. I got sent home from the hospital without any antibiotics or anything like that. And that night, I coughed too hard and my entire incision split open. And for anybody that's had a C-section, y'all already know it was not pretty. So I put a maxi pad on it to staunch the bleeding, and I go to the ER, the exact same hospital. And the PA in the emergency room took a look at it and told me to keep the maxi pad on it and go home. Didn't have an actual doctor come in, nothing. Sent me home and told me to keep a maxi pad on it. Didn't try to clean it, nothing. Yeah, it's way, and I came in there without a father or anything like that. Now I go in for my next child and I come in with a white man and they're sitting there offering me drugs and trying to make sure I'm comfy and everything like that. And it was the exact same hospital. So, yeah, they're Black women, especially if you present more Black or seem to fit the Black stereotypes, it definitely have to worry about that indoctrinated racism. We're believed to be stronger and be able to handle whatever medical issue gets thrown at us, or we're just drug seekers. So yeah, I agree entirely with what V was saying.
Yeah, it's just
And then there is, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I have not given birth yet. I can just only speak on my experience in the ER with the one time my mom literally cussed the doctor out to send me home. I got sent to the ER over one seizure, and it was so bad. This was like the worst hospital ever. It was so bad. Like, they drugged me up, and like it was so bad that like the beds were like filled up in the hallway, and I was drugged up, in and out of sleep. The girl next to me in the same bed was just seizing uncontrollably. And by the time my mom got there, I hadn't seen a doctor yet. The doctor hadn't even gotten to me, but somehow they still managed to drug me up to stop the seizures. And my mom flipped out so bad because she's like, all these people here and y'all still haven't had a single doctor look at my child yet. I think I was like 18 or 19 at the time. My Black ass mother came in there and was like, I'm sorry. My Black mother came in there and said, oh, this is how you want to play? She ran up and down that hospital looking for a doctor to sign me out, dragged me out that hospital bed, and took me home. She said, if y'all are sitting here waiting for blood work just to give her medication, she could do that at home. That's literally all they do. If I have a seizure and somebody calls 911, that's literally all they do. They take blood work to see if you have been taking your meds regularly, which I don't agree with, but whatever. Depends on the person. She dragged me home, and I was just like, I didn't even know there was a person next to me seething. That's how out of it I was. I'm like, so they just drugged me up. I didn't even know what was going on. I just felt myself being dragged out of the hospital. My mom yelled and cussed out everybody. And I'm like, so how long was I here? It was hours. It was like midnight. I got there early in the day. It was midnight. It was at least midnight by the time my mother brought me home. And this was a horrible hospital, but it was the closest hospital to me at the time before I moved. So my mom said, you are never going there again. And to this day, I do not call 911. And as far as birthing plans go, when it's that time, home birth is where it's at for me. Like, I'll go to my neurology appointments and all of that, but I'm seeking a doula when it's that time. I can't do the worrying about the hospital. To the Black woman is what the police are to the Black man. We'll just put it like that. Okay. I just had to get that out. Sorry.
I think like the importance about this is like when we're talking about like Blackness in itself, it's like some of these things that, and when I tell people is like, they don't even get to like tell me how dangerous my Blackness is. You know what I'm saying? But I understand in the world I live in, like what time it is. I always say what time it's dark on skin o'clock. You know what I'm saying? But I get it, man. And it's unfortunate. And this is something that like I need people to kind of understand when it comes to this, because some people think that we're just trying to like, and I'm talking to people in general, because the reason I took this direction, and I never rehearsed any of these. I didn't know that this was going to go the way that it did, but I need everybody to consider what Blackness is in every sect of it, because it's way more nuanced than people think. Blackness to me as a man, as an activist, means I'm a threat to this country. Like I'm like a little Martin Luther King Jr. You know what I'm saying? Blackness to Black women means they got 3 strikes. God forbid they got to go to the doctor. You know what I'm saying? Blackness for hell, as they said earlier, a Black woman with a mental illness. You know what I'm saying? Like it's, y'all don't know the half of it. And I think we do a disservice to the diaspora and the existence, the experience, and the plight we go through when we fixate on things that's not even ours to fixate on. Like we fixate on stuff like, oh, who you sleep with is going to determine if you're a good, like, I mean, if it does, as long as you are being consensual, respectful, and safe, what you eat don't make me poop, beloved. That's on you. That ain't got nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? But like to go as far to negate me and, you know, and other people and minimize people by what they look like, what their genealogy is and all that stuff, we're fixating on the wrong things. While we got white women literally, and I always say it all the time, white fragility threatens Black stability. And we fixated on stuff that is doing more harm to us than good. It's driving a deeper wedge within our community, bruh. Like it just is flat out, man. And you know, I'm gonna say this flat out. You know, I didn't really care what people thought about me before I got saved. Damn sure I ain't gonna care now. You know what I'm saying? Now that I got me some Jesus, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is for me, bro. And I think I'm gonna close out. I think I'm gonna close out with this, and I'm gonna try to say this as polite as possible. But it may not be polite, so I'm just gonna say this like this. To my kings, queens, princes, princesses, and royalty for my non-binary folk. Make sure everything that you are doing is fruitful, what you are doing for our community. You know what I'm saying? Whatever that looks like. Activism can be as big as hitting the streets, and as big as voting in the polls, as big as putting money in our community by supporting Black businesses, and be as big as encouraging your brother and sisters. There's no such thing as little work when it comes to being the leaders of the beautiful struggle. So let's get that there. And by being fruitful with everything that we do, that means not tripping up over stupid and parsing around stupid stuff, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're either going to pop these chains or lock them. That's it. And I don't care if you look like V. I don't care if you look like Crunchy Black. I don't care if you look like I don't care if you look like Rosie O'Donnell. I don't care if you look like George Lopez. I don't care if you look like Chicken Little. Bro, pop these chains off me, dog. That's it. That's all I'm concerned about. I'm trying to be funny, but I'm dead serious, B. Like, that's it. I don't care about nothing else. Break these chains. I don't care what you look like when you stand with me. Break these chains. We'll deal with that other stuff later. We'll find out who's getting a jacket and who's serving Kool-Aid. That's it. We'll worry about that later. I'm dead serious. You know? And like, and stop policing. Stop, yo. Like, I mean, like, y'all do more breaking down than encouraging people. I'm telling you. Like, I'm happy I woke up because I used to denounce my blackness. I'm happy I ain't turned into no Candace Owens. And not only do I hate myself, but my hair, because she got so much heat damage. Like, I don't understand how is your hair crispier than pork rinds? That's besides the point. That is all I'm gonna say. Sister, I hope you get out of the sunken place before they may get out too. That's all I gotta say. And I really hope your baby isn't Ben Shapiro's. I don't know. That's it. That's it. Because and white Christians, stop quoting Candace Owens. She doesn't even believe in Jesus. Like, white Christians be quoting Candace Owens more than they quote Jesus. That don't make no doggone sense. Like, just stop it. And hot take, I don't care about critical race theory being taught in schools because y'all don't even talk about racism in your homes. You know what I'm saying? It's the same way I don't care about prayer being in school because y'all don't even pray at home. Let's kill all that noise. You know
Can you say that one more time?
One
more time. I
don't care about
people in the back
in the schools because y'all don't even talk about racism in your home. Same way I don't care about prayer being in school because y'all don't even pray at home. That's it. It's stupid. Stop it. And what it really shows is the fact that you're trying to stop the schools from doing something that you're too lazy to do. Shows how much of a piece of crap you are. I'm just going to say it just like that. God bless you. I'm happy I don't got to sentence you when you die. Good Lord. To my opposition, allies, accomplices, allies, do better. Accomplices, keep up the good work, the ones I'm talking to. Allies, if I'm addressing you as an ally, graduate. That's it. Graduate. Opposition, buckle up. You know what I'm saying? And I say that because I could be a hashtag. Anybody on the screen could be a hashtag. Anybody in this comment section could be a hashtag. This is 400 years of the beautiful struggle. And we got plenty of leaders. We got Fred Hamptons and Angela Davises and Malcolm X's and James Baldwin's. We got rappers, we got authors, we got producers, we got directors, we got politicians, we got fashion designers. We are in every room. We are in every room. Man, a black man was in the White House. You can't keep us out. We not folding. We not going anywhere. And guess what? At the end of the day, y'all the mutation. So at the end of the very, 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 very day, y'all came from us. So you are better off getting along, getting on the right side of history. And to my Christian folks, Christian white folks that don't, and those that are black that assimilate to whiteness too, because a lot of y'all shucking and jiving for massa, okay, but claiming you worshiping Jesus and your Jesus looks like Mark Twain. Y'all are talking about y'all want a revival. Y'all are on the wrong side and you're doing dead work. You don't own the rights to this blackness, because even I don't even own the rights to this black body and this black life. I serve Yahshua the King. That's it. And Yahshua the King tells me to lead with love. 1 Corinthians 16:14, do everything in love and let everything I do be done in love. And that means pissing off the devil, punching white supremacy in the nuts, and telling y'all that powdered mayonnaise sucks and raisins don't go on potato salad. Jesus wasn't white, and y'all better have a good freaking night. Because if not, then I don't know what else to tell you. That's it. Always remember you are beautiful, blessed, and beloved, and I got a PhD in snatching baby hairs. Hear me.